It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Back on a Monday, Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman. Matty Ice back in his chair. The Iceman is done cooling off. And we got rhyme time at the switches. Good to see you, Ice.
Good to see you, my man. You doing okay over there? You
doing
all
fine.
right?
Can't wait to get back to it for 3 hours. But we have a duty to our listeners and our Buckeye fans. The head coach of your national champion Buckeyes still speaking at the podium, so let's take you there.
We haven't decided that quite yet. The competition continues.
Front row center, Bill Rabinowitz.
Just trying to get some clarification. We know that Austin has earned one of those 5 spots, just from the way that you talked. Is his primary position now left tackle, or is it right tackle? I mean, I think most people expected Ethan to be your left tackle. Where's kind of that stand right now?
Yeah, we haven't decided any positions. We usually don't set the depth chart really until a couple weeks out. So we'll wait till then to actually set the depth chart. But right now, Austin's working exclusively at left tackle.
We'll go Rob Oliver.
Yeah, non-camp, non-depth chart question. Get ready. So the dispatch ran a poll entering the season. Always dangerous. And here's one of the questions.
Mm-hmm.
How would you rate Ryan Day's 6 years as head coach? Excellent, 54.5%. Okay. Above average, 39.6. Average, 3.4. Below average, 1.3. Poor, 1.3. I don't know what you did to the 1.3. But
I cut him off on 3:15 the other day.
Knowing how fickle fans are, we won't go there too much. How does that make you feel to hear that 95% think that you're doing either excellent, above average, when late last November you can flip those numbers?
I think you just come to the realization when you're in this position, you just have to have thick skin. You can't worry about those types of things. You have to stand on the principles and values that you believe in. You know what the expectation is, and then you just go from there. And when it's all said and done, I've said this before, you have to win games, but winning games just allows us to continue to do what we love here. And we know what that expectation is. I know what that expectation is, and the responsibility of running a first-class program and doing things the right way, caring about people and winning championships. And that's it. I mean, that's the focus. And so every single day, that's my job and that's the coach's job to continue to drive this building to do that. So that when we all get together on Saturdays, in Ohio and throughout the country, we're proud of the Buckeyes. And it takes everybody. And I've said that before. It takes everybody. It takes the red coats of the game. It takes all the fans at home who are watching it through the TV, who are sending great energy. It takes the fans who are supporting the players. It takes the people in town who support the players in good times and in bad. I mean, it takes the guys in this room who support our team. And I mean, it takes everybody. And that's what's special about Ohio State. And my job, everyone has to do their job. Everybody has to do their job on the field. The kicker's got to make the field goal. The defensive end's got to rush the passer. The quarterback's got to throw the ball. The kicker doesn't need to know how to block. You just got to kick balls. Everyone has to do their job. And my job is to be the head coach and just drive it and keep pushing and make sure we take care of these young men. One of the things I think we lose focus on is that this game, we're still developing young men, and this game still has unbelievable lessons to learn from and grow from. And the character of the guys in that locker room is something we take very, very serious. And I think that anybody who's around our players, who get a chance to interview our players, to get a chance to see them around town, know the type of people that we have and the expectation of holding themselves to a higher standard, because that's what it means to be a Buckeye. And so, my children really don't remember anywhere else. They remember moving to Ohio, and this is what they've known going on 9 years. And so, it's in our blood, and that's who we are.
But are you sleeping better?
No. No. If we didn't open up with Texas, maybe. But you want to take a deep breath. I mean, the first game is a monster right out of the gate. And, I'll just say this, we're excited about playing in that game. I know Buckeye Nation is fired up. It is going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. And I'm not going to get into it now because we're just under 3 weeks away. But we need the shoe rocking, just like it was for the Indiana game, just the way it was for the Penn State game, a couple years ago. They can't get away with the clap. I mean, we got to bring it to put them on silent cadence. It's got to be the loudest it's ever been, and what an unbelievable atmosphere it's going to be. And so, we remind our players that like this game is here. You can't all of a sudden just get fired up the week of the game. Like we're playing that game right now, every single moment. And so, even while I'm here, I got to get back and watch film because we got work to do.
Time for 2 more quick ones with Steve Hellwagon and then Doug Limericks.
Yeah, Coach, we didn't get to attend Saturday. If I could just ask, were there 2 to 3 guys each side of the ball who you were happy with how they graded out? I know you don't want to leave anybody out,
right.
But just, were there anybody who you thought really made a good step on Saturday?
We did a champions meeting, so we called some guys out. Some guys graded out champions, other guys didn't. There's a lot that goes into that first scrimmage, and it's hard to make a ton of evaluations out of the scrimmage. And again, like you said, if I said one person, then somebody else is gonna feel slighted. So I try not to do that. I apologize, and I know you're looking for some names right now, but we'll get there. We'll get to the depth chart hopefully here by the end of the week, and have an idea who those guys are that are stepping up and playing well.
We'll wrap it up with Doug Limericks.
Ryan, I know there's competition at every position all over the field, but just in particular when you have a quarterback competition and what you guys have going on the offensive line, and not that anyone's won anything, but that Austin has clearly impressed people. Just whether it's quarterback or left tackle, just what's it like when you really see a guy make a move, or for a coaching staff in the process to watch somebody really seize their moment or start stacking days, and how do you evaluate that?
Well, you look at trends. I feel like football's a game of trends. You're never going to know 100% of what it is. It's like game planning. Like you don't know what's going to happen, but you got to play the trends. You got to play the numbers and then adjust from there. When you watch somebody in the off season go through, the weight room with Mick, the guy's seen it all. I mean, you talk about the best in a business. It's not close. Mick Marotti is the best in a business at building leadership, at building toughness, accountability, all those things. And when he stamps them, when he's an Iron Buckeye, you got a chance. I mean, Jeremiah Smith was the first freshman, I think, ever to be an Iron Buckeye. He was one. What happened, right? Austin Serio becomes an Iron Buckeye. Look what's happening. So for us, the backbone of our program is what happens in the offseason in that weight room. That is our chopping wood and carrying water in the weight room. And so when you start to see that happen, you can almost predict what's going to come next. Have there been guys who have done really well, been gold and Iron Buckeyes that haven't played a lot? Yeah, but not many. Those are usually the guys that find a way to get on that field. And so, I say it all the time, if you want to be successful here at Ohio State, grab on to Mick and be an Iron Buckeye and be a gold guy. And so I think we had just over 40% of our team gold, which is not easy to do. I think last year we were right around 43. I think this year we're right there too, and that's a good sign. So, you're starting to see some of those guys separate who put all that work in the offseason.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there we go. A lot going there with Ryan Day. If we had a Iron Buckeye here at the Fan contest, percentage wise, guys that would, get in, prep, go the extra mile,
first guy in, last guy to leave type of dude.
Really grind it out. Guys that really take it. Yeah. Would we eclipse the 40% mark that the Buckeyes did?
I don't think you and I would be in that realm of percentages. I don't think so. I'll speak for me then, because you're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'll speak for myself.
I mean, you're the guy that hosts the very first tailgate show at 4 a.m. You're not going to put yourself on the Iron Fan.
That is true. Maybe I need to give myself a little bit more love when you frame it that way. I was thinking of guys like Rhyme Time, though, that are here 6-7 days a week grinding Monday through Sunday, that he would qualify more as an Iron Buckeye than me right now. So I don't want to loop you into this. I'll speak for myself. I don't think I would get a whole bunch of votes around here.
Got gold,
the way
baby.
Rothman was just looking at me as you were saying that. I don't know if he's with you on me being an Iron Buckeye.
I have no idea how many hours you're here. We should go over that. You should be in as well. I just was curious to your guys' opinion. You guys are very observant. You know what people do here. How many people actually would earn that iron?
Yeah. I'd vote for you. You get my vote. And then it'd be
Ryan, are you really working 7 days a week?
I mean, no. But when football season starts, yeah, I'll be on the weekends and stuff.
But you'll work Monday through Sunday. You'll work 7 days a week.
I mean, if I'm grinding out content, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He's a content creator as well.
Sounds
not
like
just
he's a content grinder.
The dude produces. He does updates. He's throwing out videos about basketball and all the good stuff out there. Tell them where they can find you on social media. Rhyme Time?
Tell the folks.
That is at RhymeTime05.
Okay.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
All right. The other thing that happened there was I think that was my boy Rob Aller asking him about this poll that the Dispatch ran about his approval rating, essentially, amongst Buckeye fans. And now the way Rob put it, because it started out like, I think there was an excellence, then above average, and then I couldn't hear the other two. I'll pull up the poll and find out. But the way Rob did it was saying, because he added the two. He added excellent and above average together and came up with like 90 some odd. How does that make you feel that 90% of the people think you're doing a great job? Like, to me, there is a middle ground here, right? Between the guy just won a national title. How are you going to take that? How are you going to say he's not right now doing an excellent job? However, you cannot just, I keep saying, you cannot just brush away what a lot of people believe is the most important game in the world. He's lost the last 4. So he's somewhere between, right, above average and excellent in a lot of people's mind, in my mind, certainly. I'm not here no one's replacing him.
Yeah.
And he just won a national title, and he might get another. And he's got a really good handle on this program right now. And he's got a very tough schedule. You and I have talked about it. And the opener is going to determine a lot of the narrative about this specific team. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was a great answer by Coach, because one of the answers was, I don't know what the bottom choice was, must have been like garbage or whatever. He's like, what does it make feel? 1 point whatever percent of the people think you're doing a horrible job. And he's like, did I cut one of them off on 315? That was a great soundbite from Ryan Day.
The body of work, as we all know, is really, really, really strong for Coach Day. If I were Coach Day and I heard the spiel you just went through, what would motivate the heck out of me is when you got to however. Because everything after that is real. What you said is so real. This guy is really, really darn good. Probably a handful, one of the best coaches in the sport. However, it's still that meat that's left on the bone that has to drive him nuts.
There is a cherry on top of that sundae that when they bring it to the table, there's a big percentage says, hey, you forgot the cherry. And it's now, unless you don't win the national title. If you don't win the national title and you lose to Michigan, then it's on.
Right. And then it's on. So that's what I think is really good for this year's team.
Yeah.
Not just Coach Day, the players as well, is that you can feel awesome about what you did, and you should for the rest of your life. But for where we are right now, it's fixing that wrong in that rivalry game. And I'm sure it's something that keeps him up at night, even though it's like, I did it all. I did what I was asked to do by signing the dotted line and delivering a national championship, but there's still work to be done.
Yeah. He doesn't have to beat Michigan today. He's more worried about who's coming in a few weeks. All right, we'll get back to it. He was asked about the quarterback battle. We'll give you that. And the Associated Press poll has dropped here in the last 14 minutes. Where do the Buckeyes land? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream. And once you taste it, you'll know why. Now's the time to grab a UDF peach shake, malt, cone, or sundae. They're only here for a limited time. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you.
Keep your summer fun going in a new Toyota RAV4, America's best-selling SUV. Now through September 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.99 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Common Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino.
Mikey, it's time for the ultimate fan experience. You could win tickets to the big home team game.
Legal?
Oh, legal.
Oh, illegal.
Legal. Against a team that wears orange on August 30th.
It all goes down Thursday, August 28th from 6 to 7. All you have to do is use your Penn Play card or the Penn Play app during the month of August.
And you can win a bunch of other prizes as well. The more you play, the more opportunities you have to win.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambler.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
Spend Labor Day weekend at Great American Ballpark. Cheer on the Reds when they face the Cardinals in a 3-game set August 29th through the 31st. Enjoy a fantastic postgame fireworks show on Friday presented by Toyota. Saturday, fans in attendance will receive a Hunter Green bobblehead featuring the Reds ace with his French Bulldog Ross, thanks to Tri-Health while supplies last. Bring the whole crew on Sunday and enjoy some afternoon baseball. Visit Reds.com/tickets today.
Join Timmy Hall for Buckeye Replay Saturday at 1. Classic games in Ohio State football history.
Sponsored by Weber Grills.
This week, Ohio State and Texas. Playoff action in Arlington. The Fan.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hot and humid for us again today. We will see a few stray showers and storms out there, although most of central Ohio will remain dry with our afternoon highs getting into the low 90s. For tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the 70s. And then for Tuesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine with, again, some isolated showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. And our highs remain in the low 90s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
These two have a ton in common. Anthony loves hockey, and Matty's always cold. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, so much to jam into the 3-hour wet paper bag. Shedeur show. You think Shedeur would like to go from Cleveland to Canton? I know Myles Garrett didn't, but I think actually Shedeur would sign up for it.
Hell yeah!
At this point,
anybody should want to do that, right? Like Myles was talking a little spicy, clapping back at his GM, and then those choppy waters got settled via $40 million a year. I was here for that. I wanted a little bit more back and forth between Myles Garrett and Andrew Berry, but yeah, for Shedeur, get your wrist up. AR.
Get your jacket fitted.
Get your wrist up after what we saw this weekend.
You see the hand ticking around that crest on that Hall of Fame? And that's old world craftsmanship right there. We'll get to that in a little bit. APU poll has dropped. So we know the Buckeyes were 2 in the coaches. They are 3, according to the Associated Press. Texas is still number 1. Penn State gets their due from the AP at 2, ranked above Ohio State. This is all preseason. On paper, no one's going to get crazy about it. I keep saying it doesn't matter because everybody knows it's all about the committee and it's all about that opener against Texas. I guess this is the question I would have. If Ohio State were to lose to Texas, depending on, and let's say Clemson, well, they have LSU at 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that will change. The loser doesn't drop out of the top 10. LSU would. What were they in the coaches?
They were 9 in the coaches.
So they would most likely drop depending on what anybody else does behind them.
Yep, 9 in both for LSU.
Listen, we are still in the mode of who's quarterbacking the team. Now, I'm into that. I think it would be a fairly big upset if Julian Sain is not the quarterback. Ryan Day was asked about it today, and he's very good, and he's very careful of giving both guys their due. When he was asked about Julian Sain, decisions, command of the huddle, all the mental reps he took, but then he's very careful to say, well, we got to have them both ready.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln played but didn't start in the bowl game. Julian hasn't started. So what if that game were to get weird in the first half? Would he make a change? Now, he wouldn't be able to answer that now, but in his mind, I think he would tell you that's why I need both of them ready.
Yeah, it's obviously important for no matter what position we're talking about in the new playoff setting is to have really good depth, but especially at that position, right? When you're talking about how important that is week in and week out, and they got lucky last year with Will being around more times than not, and that's the dream, right? Is to have your guy under center week in and week out and not have to worry about going back and forth and trying to find another option, especially if both guys are healthy. Like, I'm just big on identifying who you believe is the captain of your ship and allowing him to have a nice amount of runway. So if it's Julian or Lincoln and they come out in the first half and it's looking clunky, I'd like to have those guys see it through and play in the second half and figure it out. And so this AP ranking for Ohio State, not surprising at all. I mean, what jumps out to me, though, is the belief amongst the voters in the talent top to bottom on that roster. Because you look around them in the top 5, and all of those schools being Texas at 1, Penn State at 2, Clemson at 4, and Georgia at 5, all have some type of returning experience at the most important position. Ohio State does not, as we all know. And so they are, I think, giving Ohio State credit for winning it all last year, giving Ryan Day and his staff credit for how they recruit and develop. But that's the unknown with this year's team, is not only who is going to be the guy, but what level of play you're going to get from that guy. And that's what's fun and exciting about week 1, is that we're going to roll out the ball and see what you got. And so for Lincoln and Julian, it feels to me, AR, that this is still a little bit of a quarterback competition right now. I don't know how close it is. Only Coach Day does. But I do think, based off of the history of Coach Day being at the helm and where this offense has been, that the floor is relatively safe. I truly believe that. Just have no idea how high the ceiling is.
You won't know till they're out there. And you're in front of that crowd against that team, and you see how they perform. He talked about competitive excellence. It isn't 7-on-7 anymore. When that happens, everything gets ramped up, and there's no way to truly simulate that, except he does know he's going up against a very good defense in practice every day, and that's why this week will be very important to decide, and then it'll be what you said, which will then, all right, here's our guy, we follow him for now. And this is, everybody knows it, and my mind tells me that he's got to lean, that when he says it's close, he's got to lean. He's not out there going, man, this is 50-50. I hope this comes to me in a dream tonight, because I really don't know. Mm-hmm. He's leaning. It's fairly close. And the other part about leaning is that that's why I had no real thinking that he would announce it today. I think if he needs to see more information and he wants to get it through this week in a scrimmage, it does two things. It gives him more data, and it also puts the pressure on whomever's going to be the guy. You want to continue that. I'm not saying if you named a guy today, it would be a detriment. I'm just saying that if it is close, both guys deserve the right. And if he does have a lean, let's say it is saying, then he doesn't want Julian knowing today. He wants more pressure. He wants to see how that guy responds to a close battle. Just like Lincoln, because if a guy gets an inkling that he's the guy, it takes away the pressure. He feels like he's already earned it. Now he's got to go out and make sure he doesn't screw up this week. But I think that's why he wants to keep this thing going.
It may take away the pressure, but I think it could also do, AR, is breathe life and confidence into who that guy is and the team as a whole, and just kind of settle things, right? That we're a couple weeks out and here's the guy. And so, yeah, to me, did it need to happen today? Probably not. But I do think, though, when you do have one of these guys crowned as the QB1 of this season, I think that could be very beneficial for his confidence, but also his teammates in knowing this is the guy I'm going to follow. This is the guy that is going to lead us to hopefully some good things down the line. And so the way that Coach Day and his staff get after it out there on the recruiting trail, you know it's in the building. You know what's over there as a fan. It's just about fine-tuning it and having that guy show you and us that he can be a reliable option week in and week out. These guys are going to have to go through some tough times. The team is probably going to have to go through some learning curves. Like, that's just what happens to me when you push a whole bunch of talent out of the building into the NFL and you're asking guys to really step up and having to really put more on their plate, and they're not used to that just yet, especially when you talk about game number one, playing one of the most respected programs in the sport. And so what's going to be important, no matter who the quarterback is this year, is that what type of run game do they have to balance some of the pressure via the pass? Because if the offensive line and Donaldson and Peoples and those guys can push people around, that's just going to make life easier for Lincoln or Julian.
You got a quick soundbite from Ryan Day a little bit. He was talking about trying to figure this out from a historic standpoint.
I do have a few, mostly about the quarterback battle, when he has one where he compares what this one is like to maybe one from previous seasons. Let me make sure this is the correct one. Here you go.
I remember kind of with Dwayne and Joe, it was similar. Just in terms of the skill sets and their makeups. And so, it's interesting to see, those two guys compete with each other. Like you said, nothing is exactly the same, but it's similar in certain ways. But ultimately, it comes down to how they perform on the field.
And that's not going to be until he's going to have to make a decision, obviously. And Burrow was, I think, leading the race, but ended up breaking a bone in his throwing hand, I believe.
Yeah.
And then Haskins emerged, and then Burrow left as a grad transfer. I think it was a little injury related because there are a lot of people that weren't around then that wouldn't be able to fathom how in the world, at this point now looking at Burrow, how did Haskins beat him out? And I think that there were certain, Dwayne was very, very good.
Oh, yeah.
And also that Joe could not then show that final piece.
Yeah, no doubt. I think, for me, probably won't have a true feel of how good the quarterback is or isn't this year until you come out of that Washington game. Not going to overreact too much either way to the Texas game, and then it's Grambling, Ohio State. Then you go on the road for your first conference game of the year in Week 4 at Washington. So you'll have the good-on-good matchup with Texas. You'll have 2 games after that to where no matter who's playing quarterback should be comfortable. Then you go into pretty good road environment out there in Washington. Then we'll really find out what the quarterback is made of this year for me when we get through those first 4 games.
All right, we'll talk a lot more about that throughout the show. We'll take a break. 2 minutes, we come back. What's next for the Browns and Shedeur after the big debut? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
We've all got our daydreams, right? Little things, big things, things you know one day you'll do. Then out of nowhere, cancer. And all your plans don't change a bit. I would know. I'm about to jump out of an airplane with my dad. Our first time skydiving solo. And my second year since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health. All right, Dad, let's go. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony can follow direction very well as long as he first prints out MapQuest. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
See, I just think about when I get out there, just doing what I got to do. You know, everything else is not in my hands, so I worry about it. That's like, I don't know. I just don't think that deep into everything because it's nothing you're going to be able to control. So why put energy in something that you can't control? So the most you could do is, hey, whenever you get your opportunity, your numbers call, you know, perform and at least do the bare minimum and win the game. So that's what I feel like we did today. And it's definitely things I'm able to grow off of.
Listen, he said all that. He didn't say much even before the preseason game. And it was, when we set it up last week, it was, he's either going to look even better than he did based on who he was playing with, or he'd have comfort, Matty, of playing with the guys that he's been practicing with. You know, there was a lot of the setup to fail. He doesn't get the ones. He's not getting the twos. He's not getting the number one reps and all that. And there was something to be said for that. But I don't think they were going to go all in their first preseason game and give their fifth-round quarterback all the starters and risk everything. It was never about that. And maybe we were always reading more into it than even the Browns were. But the way he performed, all he missed was that little one, that little flush out, you know, the timing, little lob pass in the flat. But other than that, this was a massive debut. Now, I'm not putting the Hall of Fame jacket on him yet, and I don't know if, but I think for a starving franchise like Cleveland, this is awesome. I mean, this is not, and he should now, and I'm not watching practice. I don't know if he's now jumped Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett with one preseason game, but you cannot take this away. I know it's preseason, but the throws he made, the composure he had, the touch, the accuracy that he showed from college, he brought into the pros for one preseason game. Now, everyone's going to say, he's got to do it again. I'll remind people, like, there's some stuff going around now, but what Pickett was when he was preseason with the Steelers and how good he was. 87%, 5 for 5 on touchdown drives, 3 touchdowns. Kenny Pickett looked like Terry Bradshaw when he first started. And they're like, wow, we found, but he was drafted in the first round. So there is a great feeling that there is a little, that they were mining for gold and they may have found something here. Whether it stays this way is yet to be seen, but he is definitely now put a scare, I would imagine, into Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett.
100%. 100%. It was fun to see him do what he did, right? Because all week long, you get some nuggets coming out of camp that, look, he's hardly getting any work with the ones, hardly any work with the twos, and then it's like, okay, they're announcing this guy's going to start on Friday. So it's like, that looks pretty bleak, and he made the best of his situation and then some, in my opinion. And so On Carolina's side of things, they had some of their starters out there on defense for some of the reps that he was out there on the field. So you got to give him credit for that. And, man, like you brought up the word accuracy. That's always, for me, one thing that I've really liked about his game is that the dude, if you give him time, he is going to put the rock where it needs to be. And he had to work against the grain for the last 2 years at Colorado because his offensive line was a complete mess. And what I saw on Friday was some good stuff. Like, you saw him in shotgun. You saw him under center. You saw him doing play action stuff, which to me was like, okay, that's a pretty good grasp of his feel of the playbook right now. Like, it was vanilla, but it wasn't all the way vanilla, which was good. And so you saw some pocket mobility, right? Like, he's never going to be a guy that runs away from defenders. But with his style of play, what can help him is that when he does feel pressure, stepping up and then delivering the rock that way. And that's what he did. And so you had the touchdowns that I thought looked good. I thought some of the zip on some of his passes was there. He picked up a first down with his legs. And so, look, you don't want to go crazy about this because he does need to continue to level up. But with what he had at his disposal and throwing to guys that were undrafted guys from Kent State and all this, like, yeah, he made the most of it. And that, for Shedeur, is all he can do. Is you can't count the plays right now. Just make the plays count. And that's all he can focus on. And I do think now, hopefully this week, we hear some stuff coming out of camp that he has grabbed more of those second-team reps and more of those first-team reps, because I think you want to build off this if you're Kevin Stefanski.
This is just part of the recipe that at the end of this season, they have to know what they have in Shedeur Sanders. They do. It's because of where a lot of analysts had him and where he dropped to. And so he's impressed early on. This is one of those things where I could see both sides. Because if he flopped, I don't think we wouldn't have taken him off the hook completely. I wouldn't have come in here if he flopped and said, well, he wasn't getting the reps. You got to do with what you got. And he did. So you got to give him the praise when he does it. I think that's the key about this, is keeping it in somewhat perspective without taking everything away, and with also not pouring into it that suddenly he should be the starter. So now put it up against who do they have? New England next, or no? They have
who's next?
No. They have. I think that's. I'm in Vikes mode.
I think it's Eagles.
Yeah,
it's Eagles. They are on Saturday.
Eagles, yeah. So I heard Mike Tannenbaum say this on ESPN or Get Up this morning. Like, all right, somebody's probably feeling a little better health wise. Like picking Gabriel.
Oh, yeah.
If you were feeling a little, don't fall behind kind of deal.
Yep.
And that could be real. So this is cool. That's a cool thing for him.
It is.
And I'm not, listen, he walked in with his own music and posse and this and that and whatever. But
that's what you signed up for.
Who he is.
That's what you signed up for.
And I will tell you, the confidence that he has, that's what you want out on that field, that he believes. And you heard that soundbite about how, like, you could tell, I mean, as much as he is into that, it's not fake for him.
And he's all about ball too. Like that's what I like about Shedeur, is that he can do some of the other stuff that bothers people. It doesn't bother me. I think it's exciting and riveting stuff, especially at that position. I like having guys that have a little flavor to them. But I'll tell you this too, because we talked a lot about the decision to draft the guy. And I'm in the belief that Jimmy Haslam had some type of say in going to get Shedeur after Stefanski and Andrew Berry identified Dylan Gabriel as the quarterback they wanted in the third round. That's neither here nor there. But I will say this. If you're Jimmy Haslam and you're sitting back this weekend and you're looking at all those 12 jerseys that were in the stands, you're looking at the attendance for a road game and a preseason game that was pretty strong in Carolina, and then you wake up today and you turn on ESPN and Fox and everywhere on social media, like, shows are leading with Shedeur Sanders today. And that doesn't matter to Kevin Stefanski. He's got to worry about the X and O stuff. I just think as an owner, those are the things that you can lean into when you want to bring in a guy like Shedeur, is the eyeballs on your franchise, and those eyeballs could lead to dollar signs and butts in seats. And so Shedeur's got to earn it. And I think he should have more time to go out there and practice in these preseason games to do that. But a really, really good start for the dude. And he looked the part out there on the field with what he was asked to execute as a quarterback.
It doesn't have to be this year. He just has to be a part of it. And he has to be getting his chances. And he probably will. the way this season may go, he should be able to get his chances. Now, he did have a quick little, I don't know, it was Tony Grossi, longtime reporter, analyst up there. Shedeur, I guess, called him out in the postgame presser. Here's part of that.
Tony, I be hoping you got something positive to say about me. You always say negative stuff about me. And I'm like, I ain't do nothing to you. No. I ain't see nothing positive that you ever said to me. I think I'm positive every day. Come on, Tony. What I do to you, Tony?
All right, so that's in the hallway. That's after the presser. That's when they finally had a little laugh, and Grossi went back up to him, and that's when you could hear him say, "What I do? Like, I don't do anything. Like, all you do is, I don't know. I have not been reading or hearing what he's been saying about Shedeur. I mean, what could he be saying? This is the first chance we've seen him. Like, how could you get pissed that they signed him or drafted him in the 5th round? Like, they're volume shooting at quarterback. Like, the only reference I always made was call out the Browns for make them explain why they felt Dylan Gabriel was so much better than Shedeur. That's the only answer you want. But since they were both on the team, they didn't have to. But I don't know how much negative stuff, unless it was from the combine or led to the draft or whatever it was.
Yeah, who knows, right?
But I guess they both came up somewhat laughing. I think Grossi may be spinning this now a little bit in that we had a moment, but you had to maybe go seek him out. I don't know. But I heard at the podium, we'll have to find that one. It's the one at the podium after where we really called him out.
It seemed to me like that was a pretty healthy back and forth, right, between Shedeur and Tony. And I don't know what Tony said that may have rubbed Shedeur the wrong way, but I think if you are going to go down that path as an athlete and wanting to approach a media member because you don't like something that they said, I think that was a pretty good way to do it. Like, he didn't come out, swinging hard or whatever, knives out or anything like that. Like, he just wanted to approach Tony and get a feel on why he said some of the things that he said, and maybe that can blossom into a healthy relationship, down the road. We'll see.
Blossom into a healthy relationship. I agree with you. Grossi's writing positive stuff about him today. So I don't know.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
What can you say about the guy out there looking like Tom Brady in that 12 jersey, AR? No, the only reason why I said that is because he does train with Tom.
Yeah.
And you can see like how he's trying to mimic his game after Tom Brady. Obviously, that's the GOAT. But when I saw him in that 12 jersey, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that is a guy he's worked with a lot. The skill set is kind of similar. The accomplishment's a long way to go before we get to anything like that. But I can see why Shedeur looks at Tom Brady as a guy who wants to mimic his game after.
All right, we come back. Party like a Roth star on deck. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
The summer event is still on at Germain Honda of Dublin, and with football back, Rich is ready to dominate the competition. You can lease the sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $249 a month or finance with 3.99% APR. Upgrade to adventure with the 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Lease starting at $429 per month or 4.49% APR. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot, and not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What does summer bring to mind? Lazy days by the pool? Hot dogs on the grill? How about large, sweaty men putting work in to defend their national title? Yes! Your summer home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Roth star.
All right, Ice, some cool things over the weekend. I'll start with something that doesn't count. We got a new Sergeant Hulka with a big toe. I don't really care if it wasn't a regular season game. I mean, I know we have to care because it doesn't count, but the Jags Cam Little out of Arkansas, 212th pick overall.
Holy smokes. They got a shot.
He just kicked a 70-yard field goal. Are you kidding me?
Crazy.
I've never seen that. The NFL record.
Yes, you have never seen that. Never happened. You probably should have known that when he was lining up to kick it, that it's never happened before. Preseason kicks don't count. Due to that rule, your boy, well, maybe not anymore. Yeah. Justin Tucker's 66-yarder from 2021 still stands as longest kick in league history. Now, it does appear that his kick is the longest field goal by anyone in a game ever, in a structured game. There was I looked this up, or somebody else looked it up for me, rather. It's a better way to say it. But I did some research. The previous mark was held by Abilene Christian University kicker Ove Johansson, who kicked a 69-yarder all the way back in 76. And yes, Maddie, there is video of it. The high school level, I didn't know this, has had 4 players hit from 67. His field goal had so much juice on it, people are saying it probably would have been good from 73 to 75. And this is with men rushing. This isn't just setting it up on a tee and say, can you do it? This is, And so Cam Little out of Arkansas, I got to give him his bragging rights. I guess we'll forget about it, but maybe somebody will say, but yes, there was a 70-yarder. It just was in a preseason game, but that's pretty damn amazing.
Was that Tom Izzo on the call? It sounded
Tom
so
Izzo
much like him
on a Jaguars-Steelers game.
Prime time's a college basketball nut.
It's right here at the beginning.
Holy smokes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I hear that.
He just kicked us.
Yeah. Kind of raspy.
Absolutely
Tom
sounds
Izzo,
like him.
That sounds like a post-game presser.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. It's a good call right there. It's good stuff, AR. That dude absolutely deserves some love because I watched that thing like 10 times, and I'm like, this is absolutely insane.
It may have been Charlie Batch. He was on.
That makes sense.
He was doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. First candidate for me. I'm starting with a guy we all know, and we know him well. Because his last name's Henderson and his first name is Treyvon. Treyvon Henderson said, Mike Vrabel, I'm your guy. Forget about Ramondre Stevenson. This is my running back room. You talk about coming onto the scene hot and making an impression. If you guys didn't see this, the New England Patriots took on the Washington Commanders in their first preseason game. The very first play of the game was a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown by Treyvon Henderson. The speed, as we know, is electric. I couldn't wait to see how it transfers to the NFL. Look, I get it. Not going to be the top guys he faces week in and week out, but I think this dude is going to be cooking at a high level in New England if they give him a whole bunch of opportunities. So it wasn't just the 100-yard kickoff return to start the game. You saw throughout the game as well, catching the ball out of the backfield, some impactful runs that help move the chains. Treyvon Henderson is as complete as a back as you will find in this class that just came out. And I think based off of what he did, he is showing everybody in that building that I'm going to be the future franchise running back of the New England Patriots. If he's healthy, he's going to ball. This past weekend, he partied like a rock star, that being Treyvon Henderson.
Darryl Strawberry has some company. He's been alone in first place for 37 years as the Mets franchise leader in home runs. And now he has to make some room for Pete Alonso. The Polar Bear tied him with 252 against Milwaukee. And I guess they've had a pretty good relationship because Straw has been kind of a guest spring training instructor and club ambassador for a while. But it's pretty amazing the stuff that's gone on there for them against Milwaukee, the Mets I'm talking about. Because last year, he had a ninth inning blast against Devin Williams that gave the Mets the Game 3 victory in the NLC and wild card series, rather. And then 2 years ago, he homered in that ballpark to help the Mets clinch a wild card berth. So Alonso said he could envision himself joining the 500 home run club. Now, this is made up the Mets' last 11 games. This is made up for it. The Mets are 1-10, lost 7 in a row. Their team average is 191, and they're holding on to that third wild card spot. You got to be loving this. But Pete Alonso, 252, tied for franchise leader for the New York Metropolitans.
Yes, good stuff. Speaking of New York baseball teams, I'm going to go with a couple guys that went up against the New York Yankees in Gotham City this weekend. I think in every sport, you need a team or players or a player that is a villain. The Houston Astros in baseball, I still think have a little bit of that vibe going on. And especially when you decide to bring back Carlos Correa, who was a part of that 2017 World Series that we know was a whole bunch of crap. But what happened in the Boogie Down Bronx this weekend was highly entertaining for me because you had both Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa going off on the Yankees every time they came up to bat. These guys were getting booed. Carlos Correa has been tremendous since they traded or they reacquired him from Minnesota. But against the Yankees this weekend, Carlos Correa had 6 hits and a home run. He is batting .405 since coming over from Minnesota. But Jose Altuve, 6 hits in 3 games as well. 2 home runs over the 3-game series against the New York Yankees. First pitch of the game yesterday against Max Fried, Jose Altuve hits it out of the park. These guys are still dangerous. They still party at a high level. Jose Altuve, the 25th player in Major League Baseball history with 250-plus career home runs and 250-plus career stolen bases. Correa, Jose Altuve for the Houston Astros, partying like a rock star.
No electronic enhancement.
Nothing now.
Okay.
Nothing now that we know of.
That is today's party. Top of the hour, Sports Center update. That was a fly-by hour. Now, I've seen Ohio State let me rephrase that. I've not seen Ohio State any lower than this guy's preseason rankings. He did put some reasons to it. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Common man, radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Plumbing problems? Logan Services is here to help. We offer free estimates on water heaters, water softeners, sewers, and drains. Don't stress. Instead, take action and book your free appointment now. Logan Services.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. When we say we want to lose weight, we mean fat, not muscle. New studies show up to 40% of the weight lost on the new meds is muscle, not fat. Keep your muscle. Lose the fat with Awaken 180. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
We could tell you what makes Giant Eagle special, but we think our customers say it best.
I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
On every shelf, in every department, we're always going for better because being your Giant Eagle matters.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
In the 1950s, Joe Nuxhall was your classic power pitcher. He averaged about 6 strikeouts a game. And on this date, August 11th, back in 1959, Nuxie had his strikeout groove working. At Crosley Field against the Milwaukee Braves, Joe struck out the side in the 6th inning, and then for good measure, struck out one more batter as well. 4 strikeouts in 1 inning. How did he do that? Well, he struck out Eddie Matthews, Joe Adcock, and Del Crandall. But Reds catcher Dutch Dotter let the 3rd strike skip under his glove, and Crandall reached first base. Nuxie then struck out the next hitter, 4 strikeouts in 1 inning, and that tied a Major League record. This August 11th, 1959, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Common Man here. I want to tell you about my guy, Bob Capace, owner-operator of Worthington Jewelers for the past 25 years. If your only experience is going to the mall for jewelry, Bob and his team will blow you away. Service, quality, and a great price. The store is busy all the time because people keep coming back. True story. My 8-year-old daughter says to me, "When can we go see Mr. Capace again? He's nice." Yes, he's nice. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Holding.
Defense.
The ref totally blew that call.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make the right call next time.
It's too late. It cost us the game.
Well, it's just one game.
That loss eliminated us from the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs are on so late. Now you'll be well rested.
Okay, I need you to stop talking now.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Ohio State continuing their preparations for the opener against Texas in 19 days. Ryan Day spoke to the media after practice this morning and said he doesn't know when they'll announce a starting quarterback. They're moving guys around on the offensive line and that as a whole, they need to be better. The first AP Top 25 poll released at noon today, and the Buckeyes are ranked third behind Texas and Penn State. Clemson and Georgia round out the top 5. The Cincinnati Reds head to Philadelphia to take on the NL East leading Phillies at 6:10 tonight. Andrew Abbott makes the start for Cincinnati opposite Tawan Walker. Pre-game coverage over on ESPN Columbus gets underway at 5:40. The Guardians with an off day before starting a home series with the Marlins tomorrow. This one brought to you by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online, sleepbettercolumbus.com.
What's up, knuckleheads? You're listening to Rothman and Ice on The Fan. It's not terrible.
Not yet, according to us. All right, second hour. Hope you guys are having a great day, staying cool out there. We'll have Mike Tanier, NFL writer, editor, founder of the Two Deep Zone at 1:30. We'll zero in a little more on Shedeur. He is the talk. It makes sense. Son of a legend. Thrown in there. Bottom of the depth chart, rising from the ashes. Like, I get it. We should all get it to some degree. And I've seen stuff, well, you know, Johnny wasn't ready for this. Baker really wasn't ready for it. I don't know about Baker. Baker was a baller. He played tough. May not have done everything right, but he was tough. He was a football player, and now he's showing it. But, yeah, it was a very, very interesting deal of what and his dad predicted it. His dad, I think Dion, when they was asked before the preseason game, I may have to find the soundbite for you guys. He said, after tonight, it's gonna be a problem. Like, meaning, if it's not already a problem.
I love the Sanders, man.
And I
love these dudes.
There was no fear of him getting cut. Like, unless he just totally fell on his face, which he wasn't going to do. He's never in fear of being the odd man out. He just was, even as the last guy. He was, at least in my mind, it was always between, well, Flacco it's an interesting thing because from the coaching standpoint, you have to have him. You just do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would, if I was a Browns fan, I'd be willing to kind of throw this season to the Wolves and just say, let all three of them battle it out, give them some time. If one guy starts playing really well, ride him for a while. If, No,
that's when you pull him. Like, for me, that's when you don't want a quarterback to go on a hot streak this year. For me, if I'm a Browns fan.
I'm not talking about from wins standpoint. Yeah. I'm talking about from just play standpoint that he deserved to keep playing.
Right.
If one guy was playing well, you're right. You want to orchestrate a tank to some degree from a result standpoint, but it's very difficult to do. Mm-hmm. And so it may just happen organically. Like, they just may not be good enough.
Right. And if Jimmy Haslam is all in on trying to get Arch Manning, that got put to bed by his grandfather this weekend, didn't it? You see what old Archie Manning said?
Yeah, we talked about that on Friday.
Where he said he ain't coming out this year. Which was like, okay.
He's trying to... I'm not saying he's wrong. Yeah. I'm just saying he's trying to focus and take some pressure so every week Arch isn't answering questions about anything about his future.
Smart.
He's keeping it present.
I think Bryce Harper did that a few years ago, AR, and I don't know if it was in spring training or game number 1 or 2 of the season, but one of his first press conferences, he came and put it to bed like, guys, I'm not answering free agency questions this year. Like, we'll talk about him one time, and we're putting it to bed. So maybe that is the plan from the Manning side of things, is Archie comes out and says, look, my grandson, he's not coming out this year. Maybe it'll be next year. Eli and Peyton are two guys that stuck around for a long time at Ole Miss and Tennessee. So maybe it's just something they want to do there. And so to your point about orchestrating the tank, that's always difficult. And I think to start the year, if you're Kevin Stefanski, to pay respect to the guys that are in your locker room, the Denzel Wards of the world, the Njokus, the Myles Garrett's, like you want those guys to feel like you're trying to win, right? Like you don't want to disrespect those guys because those guys are really good players in their own right, along with the other guys in that locker room. And so I think all of this is just a process that's going to be so hard for us on the outside to figure out with where the reps are going with the quarterbacks. What are the coaches really wanting to work on that day? Like, there's just so much context that needs to be added to some of the things that we see. So going back to Shedeur and what he did against Carolina in the first preseason game, like that's great for him, right? Because you touched on it. If I'm Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, I'm waking up this morning with a little bit more pep in my step going into the building based off of what he did. So I'm just going to try to stay in the middle of the fairway with this, with whatever we see from Dylan, Shedeur, Kenny over the next few weeks, because we've seen examples on both sides. Like, you think back to what Zach Wilson did in one of his preseason games early on. He looked pretty darn good. And then we know how his career has worked out. The flip side of that is some other guys that haven't played very well in the preseason or have played in the preseason and has equated to good success, like a Dak Prescott. And so the fun part about all this for me is that the Browns, even though they probably aren't going to win a whole bunch of games, there's going to be entertainment that comes along with it. And I think Shedeur Sanders will be a big part of that.
It feels like it right now. It's early, but you can't take it away from him. He was thrown in there, looked great. It's a preseason game. He's got other guys battling against him, so they'll take more information. I do remember, so, Maddie, I wonder if you remember this. Remember back in, 2018 when Nick Bosa had that core muscle injury, and he decided to just leave the team to go focus on his pro career. And I remember doing the show that day, and I was doing it with Bob, and I'm pretty sure you had to be in the booth.
I was, yeah.
And I said to Bobby that day that there was still a chance that he could have come back late that year to help Ohio State. And Ohio State had that was the one loss against Purdue on the road. Like, it was that, I think that was that season. Anyway, I remember saying that the reason he's leaving, besides saying, hey, I'm not going to risk it anymore, is that he didn't want to have to face in early December, if he's around the team, are you going to come back to help? Because he would have felt tempted to jump back in.
And pressured.
And play and pressured.
Yeah.
The second he decided, I'm out. Now I'm out of sight, out of mind. I'm going to California. I'm working out with my brother, and I'm emotionally detached from the team. And I remember saying that day that that's probably why it made sense for him to announce it then, because there really was no deadline. He could have just hung out. He could have rehabbed and done everything and still been on the sideline and encouraging his guys and been a part of it. But when you emotionally detach yourself, that's part of the key. And I think that's what Archie Manning is probably trying to do, is just, by the way, they've orchestrated drafts before. He knows what that's about. They're probably waiting to see who could be picking number one. The one caveat that I would say to him is, the one follow-up I would ask him is, what if they win it all? You still saying 100% he's coming back?
I think he would probably go down the road of where they feel Arch's development is at the most important position, right? Because they, in that bloodline, they know what it takes. They know what it takes to not only just go to the NFL, but hit the ground running in the NFL immediately as a rookie. And I think that's what they're trying to set him up for, is that. Look, financially down there in Austin, we all know Archie is going to be well taken care of and is being well taken care of financially. But I truly believe in what they're selling, is that at the end of the day, this is about how good he is now and versus how good he'll be at the end of the road. Then you make that decision on whether or not you need to go to the league, because he's got 2 to 3 years left of eligibility. So it's not a slam dunk. And I think it's smart now for the Manning camp to put that to bed, because to your point about Bosa and some of the other examples that we brought up, that's in a week in and week out could be a distraction for your team if he's got to talk about that all the time.
Yeah. And I don't listen, if they're in the playoff, they got to be in the playoff. They should be in the playoff. I would only say that if you fast forwarded your mind to them winning it all, and he's a big reason for it, then you have to start asking yourself some realistic questions. What are you coming back for? More development?
Maybe.
The money's there?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I guess you could say, well, I'd like to win another. But, I mean, or maybe he wants to take a shot at the Heisman. Maybe. So there's stuff there.
Plenty of stuff there that he could lean into. And so, like,
what if he wins the Heisman and the title?
Then I think it leans into the history of the family and them looking around and saying, who's got that number one pick?
You certain he's coming back 100%? Grandpa?
I don't know. Has Arch followed up on Archie's comments? There's a lot of Arch and Archie's going on. Like, I don't know if that's Archie just throwing out, hey, this is my opinion, or he's speaking for Arch that, hey, this is what's happening, and he's not coming out.
It's a good point.
Of college.
I don't know if that's the plan today is he won't be coming out. I don't think he put it that way. I think he put it more emphatically that don't worry about it. He's not coming out.
Exactly. Move on to Garrett Nussmeier and Lenora Sellers and Carson Beck and those guys.
Guys, you don't have to just live with getting by. I know you might want to blame it on the heat, the just sapped of energy. It may be a lot more than that. And if you lack the energy you should have to enjoy the summer and getting ready to have football season, then you know that maybe something's off. And I've been telling you about Low T Center for years. Very important to go get tested. It's very easy. Low T Center has been improving the quality of hundreds of thousands of lives with personalized care. You go in, you take the simple blood test, you get the results back in 15, 20 minutes. Then you know exactly where you land on the scale. And if you need help, these are the experts, and they can guide you through it. And they're just exploring so many new things right now, life-changing, medically guided hormone therapy at Low T Center. And they've now opened it up for women to enjoy that same kind of guided therapy at Low T Center. So as a relationship, as a couple, you can attack it together, and you can help both of you get back to feeling your best. If you still haven't taken the T test, what are you waiting for? Get started with them today. All you have to do is go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com for more info. And more importantly, schedule that appointment. Get tested today. All right, we will come back, and I'll give you the analyst's reaction and context to putting the Buckeyes where he put them preseason. That is next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
My name is Andre Roberts, and I'm a defender for the Ohio State men's soccer team. When I was in 7th grade, I fractured my kneecap. That was my first experience with Orthopedic One. My physician came in the room and delivered the diagnosis, and with the confidence that he had, it reassured me that I would be okay. And they definitely did a good job of knowing as a soccer player when I needed confidence, when I needed to be pushed, and they got me right back to where I was before my injury. Orthopedic One understood what it means to be a soccer player.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Stay hydrated. It's hot out there. So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge.
Get too hot?
My phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Keep your summer fun going in the best-selling Toyota Tacoma. Now through September 2nd, get 1.99 APR financing plus $500 APR cash on all remaining new 24 gas-powered Tacomas. And while supplies last, you can lease a new 24 Tacoma SR5 double cab 4x4 for just $219 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no! Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm getting married today.
You may now kiss the bride.
I'm also a firefighter and first responder. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're also making sure I can get to my wedding ceremony, start the next chapter of my life.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Let's all give them room to work. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hot and humid for us again today. We will see a few stray showers and storms out there, although most of central Ohio will remain dry with our afternoon highs getting into the low 90s. For tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the 70s, and then for Tuesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine with, again, some isolated showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, and our highs remain in the low 90s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Maddie ranked the most dynamic duo of all time, Caesar Salad and Moscow Mule. This is Rothman and Ice.
I don't know if this was just internet generated or was this on TV? The new Nike ad that's only a matter of time with the swoosh and Shedeur with the wrist up.
It's a wrist up.
And Nike, when you get your opportunity, create your next one. Only a matter of time. Is this something that was on TV or just online?
I just saw it online. I don't know if it was a commercial or something like that. But, that's what you get when you are a franchise that drafts a player as polarizing as Shedeur is. And so that's the dream, right? That he plays well down the road. He plays well in games that are meaningful, whether it's this year and years to come. And then you get all this stuff that comes along with it for your franchise. Like, this dude generated millions and millions and millions of social media views off one preseason game. Nobody else is moving the needle like that. Not even the number one pick in the draft in Cam Ward is bringing in the attention that Shedeur gets. And that's all it is. It's just attention. He's got to capitalize on the football part of it, but he's profitable too for a franchise. And so if I'm Jimmy Haslam, that's what I want. I want this to work out. That way all the other stuff can come along with it, and we can financially benefit from the jersey sales and all the other stuff.
What would we put that at? 75% based on who his dad is? 25% based on what we saw on
You mean
Friday
the
night?
attention?
Yeah.
I think he's got a very, very strong following and fan base on his own, right? That obviously is rooted in who his dad is. But I think we're at a point now to where, at least for me, he's kind of separating himself from his dad with how popular he is on his own.
That's a good way to put it. I like that, actually, because there's no way you can hypothetically. It's hard to talk about what I just said, which is if his dad wasn't Deion Sanders, would we be talking about him the same way today here in Columbus, Ohio, with a lot of Browns fans listening. Would we be? I think they'd be as excited that they found a quarterback in the fifth round that looks like he's got a promising future.
Yeah.
The Dion part takes it into the stratosphere. It
100%.
just does. Because you're thinking that there is that, because you know what Dion was. And a quarterback needs that kind of ego and confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that you feel like he's got no fear, that he has just unbelievable confidence in himself, plus talent. Now, he's not a surefire lock.
No.
But he's got it where it counts a lot. So anyway, it'll be fun to watch.
And, one thing that I thought was always something that I read about Shedeur was how his teammates really vibed out with him and believed in him. And so if that can be the case, like, that goes a long way. Because I think sometimes, like, some of the ancillary stuff for people is a distraction for kind of who he is. And a lot of what you hear and read about his time at Colorado was that this dude was a good leader and his teammates liked going to work with and for him. And so, man, you get that type of respect in the NFL, then you're on to something that I think he's got a chance to do that.
Buckeyes 2 in the coaches, 3 today in the AP. So that means that on Saturday, August 30th at noon, we have a 1 versus 3 in AP, 1 versus 2 in the coaches. You scroll down the scheduling, and now that the AP poll is out, you'll get LSU versus Clemson. Do you have the AP poll in front of you, Matt?
I do.
Give me LSU Clemson. Does it mimic the coaches?
I have LSU AR at 9.
Yep, I think that's the same.
In the AP poll, and Clemson at 4. In the AP poll, in the coaches poll, yep. Clemson was 6. LSU was 9.
And then on Sunday night, August 31st, you have Notre Dame against Miami.
Notre Dame 6th in the AP poll, Miami 10. On the coaches poll, it was Notre Dame at 5, and again, Miami at 10.
Boy, they're nicely spread out, too. So that'll be quite strong.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. It's a strong weekend that'll lead right into game number 1 in the NFL that Thursday, but I can't wait for the 30th. I just can't wait, and just to see how both programs, especially on Ohio State side of things, resets with all the talent that they lost. But Texas has some of that going on, too. Like, this is a quarterback that's played a little bit, and Arch Manning, but hasn't played a ton. But in front of him, they're trying to replace 4 or 5 starters. And then you hear, over the last couple of days that one of these starting offensive linemen that they were going to rely on, and Andre Kojo, he's going to be out for the year with a knee injury. So one of their starting offensive linemen that was going to be one of the protectors for Manning doesn't look like he's going to be around or available for a large part of the season, if not the entire season. We know how well Sark recruits, so I'm sure they have a guy that they believe in, but a frontline starter for them on that offensive line is going to be down for not only the Ohio State game, but potentially the entire regular season.
We hit this on Friday when you were out, but I didn't hear this part of it. Greg McElroy, the former champion quarterback at Bama, now with ESPN, revealed his preseason top 25, including 10 SEC teams. The one thing that I would point out is, and I said this on Friday, was that I don't know the discrepancy between 1 and 10 this year. I think there's a lot in this sandwich. I do. I think this could go a lot of ways. But he had Ohio State at 8. And that was as low as anyone has ever put them this year, coming off the Natty. But now we get to hear him put it into context and some reasoning behind it, because I assume when you just see 8, you feel like, okay, former Bama quarterback just slamming Ohio State. But here's the reasoning from Greg McElroy.
What we know about Ohio State is elite. What concerns me is that there is a lot that we don't know right now. Tons of turnover and a new quarterback. Just think about what was lost off last year's roster. They had 14 guys drafted. The NFL all-time record was 15. Now, am I optimistic about Julian Sayin? Absolutely. Could it be Lincoln Kienholz? Perhaps, maybe. But I'm optimistic about the quarterback, but it's still a little bit of an unknown right now. And knowing how much they put on the quarterback's shoulders and how much turnover that we've seen on defense, how much turnover we've seen on the offensive side as well, I feel good about their offensive line. A lot of turnover, though, in the backfield. There's just a lot of new. But like I said, what we know is elite. but there is too much right now that we don't know about the Buckeyes, which is why they're sitting right there at number 8 in college football for me.
All right, so it sounded measured. That's fine. Now it's time to poke some holes in it. I do feel like he had Georgia at 6. And for the same reason that he dropped the Buckeyes down to 8, I would say to him, well, Georgia's returning 7 dudes. And Gunnar Stockton needs to be developed still. Mm-hmm. And they're breaking in 4 new starters on a line. And he liked Ohio State's line. Mm-hmm. So the Bulldogs, like Ohio State, should be pretty stout defensively. But for the same reason, it looked like he was going more at Ohio State. He gave a slight pass to Georgia in the same analysis in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not here to tell you that Georgia's not as good as Ohio State. They may be.
Right.
But they're trying to reload their next wave of talent and contend. And Ohio State is coming off a natty. He's right. New quarterback, a lot of unknowns. Same for Georgia. So I would ask him just point blank, why did you feel Georgia was 2 spots better than Ohio State?
I think it's a great question. I think you identified some real things there, and I would be right behind you in line with my hand up, and I would need the explanation as to why he has Alabama at 5 as well, because you look at what they're dealing with Jalen Milroe now going on to the NFL and some other talented guys leaving. What's the reasoning and why he believes that there's that type of gap between Alabama and Ohio State? It's his alma mater. I get it. He's going to lean that way a little bit, but that jumped out to me as well. So when you see, or when I saw his preseason rankings this morning, there was definitely some sticker shock there with Ohio State at 8. And I hear what he's saying, and I can buy into some of that. I think for me also is when you zoom out from some of the sticker shock there, like I asked myself, when you look at their schedule this year, are there some speed bumps along the way that could maybe have them caught up in some sticky games or maybe lose a couple games? And for me, the answer to that question is yes.
But you don't believe that's what he was factoring in.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to factor in schedule.
I'm trying to connect the dots as to how he could get there at 8, because I don't agree with him that they should be ranked that low. But because you're right, what we're talking about now is just kind of roster and all of that stuff. I don't know if he baked in schedule stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense when you're trying to handicap a preseason top 25 on – well, I think they're good enough, but I think they have a tough schedule, so I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like,
you're
that,
probably
to me,
right.
would be counterintuitive to ever bring in schedule.
You're probably
I think it's
right.
basically roster and roster alone.
Yeah, and he brought up unknown there, right? And so, like, using Michigan as the example is not apples to apples, because Ohio State's quarterback room is in such better hands than what Michigan dealt with last year. But they were a program that the Blake Corums and all those guys were gone. And then last year, there just wasn't a lot of bite there, but that was rooted in their quarterback play was atrocious. Ohio State isn't going to have that. I also just believe in the coaching development and the recruiting. And so you look at whether it's Greg McElroy's top 25, Joel Klatt's top 25, or even the AP and coaches poll, the teams that are ranked above Ohio State, you look at a lot of the teams that are ranked above Ohio State have a known commodity at the most important position. And until Ohio State proves what they have at quarterback, there's going to be some doubters, if you will, about how good they can be.
Yeah, listen, like I said, I'm not going to crush him. These are his rankings. And if Ohio State loses to Texas, they're going to drop a few. They might get him to 8. Who knows? I don't know. Depending on how the game looks.
They look, yeah.
And what other teams do. But you're not going to fault them for losing to Texas. Yeah, it'll be at home. And depending on how the game goes. So, and like you said, they do have a tough schedule. And if they had a couple losses, then it might be a top 10 team. And there's no shame in that. No. Like here, we're debating whether they should be 8 or 5 or 3. Like, it's not like he left them out of his top 10.
Right.
So, but it was the lowest we had seen. So I definitely wanted to hear what he had to say about it. We come back in 2 minutes. Our friend Mike Tanier, founder of the Two Deep Zone. All right, the potential of Shedeur. Is that all it is? We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Mira, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Maddie's favorite show is Big Brother. Don't read into it. He's only watching strangers through hidden cameras. You're listening to Rothman and Creepy Stalker Guy.
All right, here we go. Our friend Mike Tadir getting closer, NFL writer, editor, founder of the Too Deep Zone, and always avail to us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Mike, welcome back, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. 23 days until real football.
Well, tell Browns fans they were watching some real football the other night. I'll tell you, the way it's been analyzed, it's all real. There's nothing about preseason when it comes to Shedeur and the discussions around him. And so I'm going to ask you, where are you potential-wise, future-wise? We got to see him one time, and he passed the test with flying colors against a piecemeal team with Carolina. But you tell me, what was your reaction?
I think my main takeaway was that he played well. He was a third stringer playing with fellow third stringers. And to put context on that, over in Atlanta, Easton Stick was out there with the third string Falcons, and Easton Stick was playing pretty well. And no one has a bunch of takeaways about whether Easton Stick should overtake Michael Penix or maybe he should be the backup, whatever. It was encouraging. I think Shedeur's good was very good. I think there was a lot of bad that absolutely has to get corrected that I think he got away with. I don't think you can scramble backwards on 4th and 2 like that and get away with it against starters. It's encouraging enough. So some of the rhetoric and some of the narrative around Shedeur Sanders was really, really, from the draft on, got really, really negative. This is a little bit of a reminder of how good a college player he was, that, yes, he can walk and chew gum at the same time, that, no, his dad didn't go out there and throw passes for him at Colorado. Let's see how it goes. In my opinion, he's still battling really for like a third-string job, though, at the Cleveland Browns.
So looking at some of the other things that happen around the sport, Mike, in the first batch of preseason games, was there something that you looked at and said, oh, I really like that? Or maybe the other side of that is, oh, this is a little concerning for this player or team.
I'll look at one thing that was concerning. When I watched the Denver Broncos out there with their starters, almost all of their starters, against the 49ers backups, and Bo Nix and his offense could not move the ball at all. Nix had a really bad play where he's got a safety, he runs backwards into the end zone and throws the ball away, where that's like, if you're a rookie, you might not make the club. Their offense looks sluggish. It looks paint by numbers. Knicks looked like he was struggling against backups out there. That's a team that's kind of a bubble team, the Denver Broncos, where some people are like, well, maybe they'll sneak into the Super Bowl conversation. Other people are like, well, I don't know what was real last year, except that we know their defense is pretty darn good. I think they're a team that really is at a crossroads and might be looking at a sophomore slump if not just Knicks has a little bit of a step back, but they don't really have the speed and playmakers on offense to succeed against, again, a bunch of guys who are out there playing for jobs, not playing for starting jobs.
Give me your take on the debut of J.J. McCarthy in preseason versus like Shedeur. Maddie and I talked about this. Listen, if his dad isn't Dion, they may get equal play, but we know we want to live in reality. But I do want to get your take on J.J. McCarthy and how he looked this weekend for the Vikes.
You know, it was fine, but again, he's playing backups. He's got Jordan Addison out there. They don't have Justin Jefferson, but they have Jordan Addison out there. And he does a nice job. He throws 3 passes to Addison, who's getting covered by some backup out there. And then the drive he runs for first down. The drive stalls a little bit. They kick the field goal. They get him out of there quickly because obviously he got hurt in the first preseason game last year. They're skittish about getting him out there too much. It's fine. He looks like he's comfortable enough out there. It looks like he knows what he's doing. He was able to manage situations pretty well. It's so short. And it's so little. I know Vikings fans are like over the moon about it. And it was just one of those things I looked at and said, well, yeah, I guess that's their starting quarterback. And if he was a rookie last year, maybe he would have been okay. And we'll see. It's just different when you're looking at a guy who's only out there for one series because he's got the starting job all locked up.
One thing I'm big on, Mike, and it's never the sexiest thing to talk about, is offensive line play, right? And just how good your offensive line is. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, as you know, last year, Philadelphia had arguably the most dominant offensive line in the NFL, and they were just throwing people out of the club every single week. Now we come in to work on a Monday morning, and you find out that Landon Dickerson had a severe leg injury going on. Don't know the exact injury, Mike, but potentially if this is a season-ending injury for them, does that change much of your outlook for Philly this year?
I think it does. And by the way, I'm based here in Philadelphia, and everybody's on bated breath about the Dickerson injury. But you're talking about a Pro Bowl offensive lineman for an offensive line that is like top 3 unit. I guess it's the Eagles and the Lions have the best offensive lines in the NFL. And if you start chipping away at that, you chip away at what makes the Eagles special. They also lost Mekhi Becton, one of their starters, in the offseason. Now, the silver lining, or the thing that has Eagles fans knocking on wood, is the backup offensive linemen looked very good the other night in their preseason action against a lot of starters for the Bengals. So there's depth there. There's guys like Brett Toth, Tyler Steen, who've been kind of with the team for years. But if you're evaluating the Eagles as a Super Bowl team, you have to say, well, this is a potential problem that could hurt them. Around the league, though, if you look around at the injuries, there's potential problems everywhere. Nobody's looking at their situation saying we're 100% healthy and 100% happy with the way things are going on.
Mike Tanier with us, founder of the Two Deep Zone on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, so are you a believer in the Packers? NFL's youngest team last season, and I see a lot of preseason predictions that have them winning the North over Detroit. And obviously the Bears are going to make some noise here, and we'll see what happens with the Vikes. But where are you on Green Bay taking the North?
No, they're not going to take the North. I think the Lions are a better team than anyone's giving them credit for. I think people are overreacting to, say, Ben Johnson getting hurt or their own offensive line situation where Frank Ragnow retired. I think the Packers are like that wild card level team. I don't think that I still don't think they have a wide receiver 1, and they did nothing to change my mind when they went out there and everybody was dropping passes. Everybody was dropping passes in their preseason game, continuing from last year. I don't think they have a number 1 edge rusher. I don't think they have a number 1 shutdown cornerback. So when it comes time to face your Justin Jeffersons, they don't have an answer there. It's a good team, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I think Love's a very good quarterback. They got a good offensive line, really good scheme, a lot of like number 2, number 3 receivers. I just don't see that, and I don't think they did what they needed to do to take that next step.
When we talk about the DEFCON scale, Mike, I never really know which one to use properly. But I'm going to bring this up because I want to ask you, on the DEFCON scale, if you were a Rams fan right now and you heard this morning that Stafford's still not out there and he's in street clothes dealing with this back injury, Like, where would you be on that scale? Because it seems pretty concerning right now.
So if you say DEFCON 3, you're safe, whether you have it upside down or not.
That's right.
In the middle.
Right. That's a good call. Yes. Just always be ready.
Always be ready. I feel like we've just been lied to for weeks, and this was a really big example. They had a full court press about all the insiders saying, nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about. Every single insider in the NFL was given this report. And then he's in street clothes, and they're showing pictures of him going into this specialized trailer he has. That if Aaron Rodgers had this trailer, we would assume that it was like a time machine or something like that. And he's going in there for specialized treatments. Very weird, very concerning. And that's what I was talking about. Everybody has a worry right now, and that quarterback's a big worry. I have a feeling we're going to see Matthew Stafford in week 1, but we've seen the sort of injured Matthew Stafford go weeks and months at a time. And we've been like, what's wrong with this guy? He's throwing interceptions, and he can't get the ball downfield. And he doesn't leave the lineup, obviously, because he's better than his backup. I fear, and Rams fans should fear, we're going to see that version of Stafford this year, where he's too hurt to be the real Stafford, but he's still too good to actually bench.
More likely that Washington regresses badly.
Okay.
Or that San Francisco makes another charge and takes the NFC West.
I think San Francisco can make that charge. I don't think the Commanders are really going to regress. They added so much veteran talent in the offseason that we haven't seen. It's not like we see these guys like Debo in the preseason. And I think that a lot of the excitement around Jaden Daniels is real. In terms of the 49ers, now they've got injury problems too, and they had really severe injury problems last year. It sounds like Christian McCaffrey is healthy, unless he's in that same van with Matthew Stafford right now. Who knows? I know Ayuk is out. They're happy with some of their young wide receivers. If they are just a little healthier than last year, and they get what they think they got on defense, where they replaced some of their older guys and some of their injury cases with a lot of rookies who look good so far in camp in the preseason, that's a team that can turn around, surprise people, and remind people that they were a couple of plays away in overtime from winning a Super Bowl just 2 years ago.
All right, my man. Great stuff. Stay ready. Stay at DEFCON 3 for us. We'll bring you back soon.
DEFCON 3 forever. Take care, guys.
Thanks, bud. Mike Tanier. NFL writer, editor, founder of the Two Deep Zone. He was on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, we come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Ryan Day at the podium today. His thoughts coming out of the first scrimmage. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Do you know what I like best about our plumbers?
Tell me.
No matter how difficult, no matter how messy, no matter what it takes, they just dive right in and fix it.
Get Eco.
ECO. They dive right in.
Yes, they dive right in.
We've got scuba diving plumbers.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You know they don't literally dive in, right?
Well, of course not. Not yet, anyway. The pipes are too small.
Get Eco.
ECO. They won't be able to literally dive in until I finish inventing my eco miniaturizing ray.
But until then, our plumbers will just keep on figuratively diving right in.
Yes, that would be best.
Jerry, do you know what I like best about our plumbers?
Tell me.
They're so good at their job, they make it look easy.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and better than average HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? We're rebranding our AM station, and the first order of business is bringing back the and Show. It's been gone for 15 years. All the fun starts Tuesday, September 2nd on the yet-to-be-named 1460 The Fans HD2.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All righty, Buckeye Bulletin time. Still trying to check out some Vegas lines. Seen a couple that have Ohio State favored by less than a field goal, 3, 2.5.
Feels right. Feels right.
Nearly a coin flip. There's some value certainly on taking Texas to win the game because they'd be plus money, where if you just forget about the spread and just take winner, loser, there's certainly a little value there on Texas. But nobody knows. And it's going to be an electric time at the Shoe. Ryan Day still has to really hone in on his roster and the battles. And how much of it he has locked up, who knows? But he did talk about, let's give you an overarching theme of coming out of that first scrimmage.
Sometimes it's hard to tell. I think that we're growing. I think we still have work to do. There were things that I felt like we definitely improved with last week. There's still things that, we got to get fixed. We got to get addressed. Coming out of the weekend, I felt like that we were able to identify some guys that built some depth. Some position battles are still going to go on. This is a big week to take the next step for us. And I think the effort's there. I think the overall execution's got to improve. Each side of the ball has their things that they need to grow upon. And this is kind of the last week to do that, because after this week, we'll have our scrimmage on Saturday. And it's not just, complete Texas from there on, but it's getting close. So, we're still in the middle of it. There was a lot of positives, but obviously some things I guess the best way to put it is in the first 9 practices, we've got a lot done, but we've got a lot to do.
Did you expect anything less than, you didn't expect him to get to the podium today and say, we are so far ahead of schedule. I can't believe how good are you.
Shirts.
We are, I don't know if he'd go print the shirts. But he might. But you'd say, guys, I can't even keep up with how the tempo is right now. No, there's always going to be a positives and negatives approach to all of this, and They just got tabbed today, if you just joined us, as the number 3 ranked team in the AP Top 25. So that's a streak of top 5 rankings going on for a while. Since 2013, covering 13 preseason polls, the Buckeyes have been ranked in the top 10 every year. And they've been in the top 5 11 times. So this is the 5th time in the last 9 years they've started the season ranked in the top 3. So they've got some streaks, but I guess the big one would be 37 straight years in the AP preseason poll. Mm-hmm. You're just in it. Mm-hmm. I don't think that includes honorable mentions, but I think that'd be in the poll. And so
also received votes category.
Yes. That's a long deal.
Good stuff, man. That's awesome. Just real quickly, going back to the AP poll, and you mentioned it. Texas number 1, Ohio State 3. Texas did receive 25 first-place votes. The team that's ranked second according to the AP, Penn State, received 23, and Ohio State received 11 first-place votes. So there's some believers out there. One thing that's been curious for me to hear about over the last few days, AR, is Austin Searveld. Like, his name is a hot name this offseason. The dude was put in some good work last year, but from everything that you're hearing right now, like, the offseason that he's putting together has been tremendous. And so, like, the left tackle situation, AR, with him now kind of feeling like maybe he's going to be the starting left tackle, what does that mean? Does that mean that he's just been that good, that they want him to play at a premier offensive line position? Or does it mean maybe a transfer that you brought in or some other guys that have been in the building aren't living up to that billing of what they should be? But yeah, Austin Searveld again was brought up today, and sounds like he's exclusively working at the moment at left tackle. And so what does that mean? I don't know, but it sounds like he's going to be an offensive lineman that Buckeye fans can rely on, but more importantly, Coach Day and whoever the quarterback is can rely on as well.
It's a great point. He was going to be a starter anyway. Like, he was definitely going to be a starter, Searveld. And I think there was even talk about him moving back inside to play guard, which then Shabola's got to be feeling the heat there. And it is pretty interesting that Ethan Onyanwa is kind of, as Ryan Day put it today, still swinging, and that you have Searveld over there at left and Phillip Daniels also being involved in that mix.
Okay.
So here he is on the most popular topic of all, the quarterback battle.
There were positives on both ends. There were negatives on both ends. I won't, predict when we'll make this decision, but, we're getting more and more information, that we need to make a decision. Where it's at now, we'll let it continue to play out.
My guess, AR, and I want to see if you'll roll with me on this, is that we've got a scrimmage on Saturday that by next week we will know who the starter is going to be.
By Monday.
Yeah,
they'll watch film on Sunday. They'll talk.
And make a call.
Yeah, that would make sense because that is the Monday before the Monday of game week.
Yeah, can't go into game week with uncertainty.
So you'd have the entire week before game week to start
just locking
putting everything together for that dude. Now, he did go on to say that we need to get them both ready. And I don't think he's wrong. I'm with you. A quick hook would be very surprising unless it was just a horrendous. Unless there were pick sixes and things that fumbles, things that just
and even if you had that, like for me, AR, it would just have to come down to the lack of ability to get anything in rhythm, right? You know what I mean? Just play calling and getting out of the huddle on time. Like, if those things are a complete mess, then it's like, all right, well, we may have to think about moving on in the second half of the game. But if it's just a couple bad plays here or there, like, I want the quarterback to work through that.
And I keep saying that whoever you tab as the starter, you want that guy to have that experience of that game, good, bad, and ugly.
Yes.
You have to.
I agree.
I know at the end of the day it's about winning. And that's why I'm going to put the caveat out there that if it was saying or Keenholz and they had a disastrous first half and you're down by a few touchdowns, that you wouldn't say, hey, I owe it to the team to give the other guy a chance, especially with the fact that he has always said how close it is.
Yeah.
Now, if he claimed that he had a just runaway starter which I don't think he ever would say that.
And I don't think he's ever said that.
Yeah.
We've heard him talk about a few quarterback competitions, and he's never gone drastically one way or the other.
To the other guy.
100%.
But if you want to take him at his word that this is close, then, of course, he reserves the right to situationally coach a big game. Because if you got down to somebody else, you probably have no fear that you'd be able to come back.
Yeah.
You get down to them, you think about maybe making a change. But that's the beauty of this battle. And right now, they'll spend the rest of the week, I agree with you, and have that scrimmage and everything just determine it. One last week of everything. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin.
Fellas, if you are just at a point in your life to where you just can't get after it the way that you used to, whether it's hanging out with friends at the gym or just hanging out with the kids, a place that can correct that for you is the Columbus Men's Clinic, because they have awesome stuff that will have you re-energized and headed in the right direction. There's no guesswork over there. There's no gimmicks. All it is, fellas, is real science and effective treatments. You got to be aware of online fixes. There's a lot of gimmicky things out there when it comes to medical stuff, not at the Columbus Men's Clinic. It's affordable. It's accessible. You'll get consultation, including blood work, and it's just $99, and you will have results before you leave. I did this not too long ago, and I felt awesome, but more importantly, I felt confident about my health moving forward. So act now. You only get one life. Take care of yourself. Don't procrastinate. I'm kind of that way with certain things in life, but with this stuff, don't want to procrastinate at all, because all it can do is make it worse. So call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Again, that's 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com.
All right, so the Athletic tabbed like GMs, assistant GMs, former GMs, execs, coaches, other coaches.
Water boys?
Coordinators.
Everybody.
And they tiered the quarterbacks. Why does one guy have a tier all to himself and not on the top? Tell you about that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream. Although it's only here for a short time, we sell more of it than any other flavor. And once you taste it, you'll know why it wins the popularity contest. We make it from scratch by mixing in the juice from our hand-selected peaches and big chunks of fruit. That's what gives it that unique peachier flavor. And that might also explain why peach season at UDF doesn't last long. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and Columbus football is back. And what better way to kick off the season than driving home in a tough, reliable 2024 Toyota Tacoma from Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, get 0% APR for up to 72 months with 20% down, or lease it for $239 a month for 36 months for 10,000 miles per year with $29.99 due at signing. Head to Germain Toyota of Columbus today on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Your home for great deals all season long.
We've all got it, you know, that one crazy thing you've always wanted to do, that bucket list goal. Then a cancer diagnosis, and that one thing still goes according to plan. I would know. I'm getting my first tattoo right now, while my 3 beautiful daughters laugh hysterically at me. 58 years old, 4 years of cancer-free checkups at Ohio Health. Go ahead and get a picture, girls. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot, and not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Athena cantaloupes, personal watermelons, or King of the West honeydew melons are only $2.88 each with your card. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Purple Wave Auction remains the trusted leader in online equipment auctions. What makes the difference is you. You are part of our growing global community that continues to trust Purple Wave with the equipment that builds and feeds America. This trust placed in us by our community, from construction to ag producers and fleet drivers, brings great equipment opportunities to their next owners. Join the Purple Wave community today. purplewave.com.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The first AP Top 25 poll of the season dropped earlier today. And for the first time ever in the preseason, the Texas Longhorns are number one in the country. They are followed by Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia in the top five. The Buckeyes continuing to get ready for their opener against number one Texas in 19 days. Ryan Day spoke with the media this morning after practice and said he doesn't know when they'll announce a starting quarterback. The competition on the offensive line is heating up, and that they see something new every day in practice with all of the new faces. The Cincinnati Reds heading to Philadelphia to take on the NL East leading Phillies at 6:10 tonight. Andrew Abbott makes the start for Cincinnati. Coverage on ESPN Columbus gets underway at 5:40. And the Cleveland Guardians, they have an off day today. They'll start a home series with the Miami Marlins tomorrow night. Breaking sports news on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program. Jeff Lloyd, jump on. We'll talk Brownies bottom of the hour. We'll hit a little bit of it here. It is, Maddie, the story off the weekend, especially in our part of the country. But I would not just say that, because I think that, you know, even SportsCenter leads with it. And let's be honest, there's been a lot of whatever in preseason football so far. Some interesting storylines. But when you're the son of perhaps the greatest multi-sport athlete of all time, it'd be stupid to not think that was a big part of this. And so, because it's a preseason game. He played very well. I think it was where, if he would have been drafted in the first round, let's say it went the other way, but they picked him at 2. And he played in the first preseason game like now. And he looked that way. Be great. He's living up to it. And they'd probably be showing it just as much. But I think a big narrative with him has been Why did he sink so low? And now it's like a redemption story to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And now he got the first bite of the apple on redemption. He was calling out a Browns reporter. Why don't you write anything positive? What have I done to you? You've never wrote. All you write is negative.
And he did it. He did it. I think in a positive way. His approach to Tony Grossi is who you mentioned. Because I think some people may hear what you said and maybe get this idea in their mind of because of how Shedeur is that maybe he went about it the wrong way. I don't think he did personally. I think he did approach it the right way. But I looked at you during the break, and I said there is a brand new Sports Center airing at 2:00. We've had an AP poll that dropped 2 hours ago. The lead story on ESPN wasn't the AP poll. It was Shedeur Sanders in a preseason game. That's what we're talking about here, and how much attention that he brings to a team, a city, and himself. And so I'm glad you said what you said, because at the end of the day, that's all it is. Is a preseason game that will come and go unless he can continue to stack up on that. But what he did build, I think, was something really good for a rookie that was drafted in the 5th round that hasn't been getting a whole bunch of valuable reps in practice.
Looked good. Looked the part. Looked smooth. Looked confident. Made the right throws. Wasn't just about acting the part. He did it. And so
I haven't seen a Cam Ward highlight on TV all day today.
Did he play?
That's why. And he was the number 1 pick in the draft. All the quarterbacks played, I think, for that were drafted this, or not all of them, but a lot of them that were the headliner: Jackson Dart, Shedeur, Cam Ward. Like, these guys played this weekend. Nobody's getting talked about the way Shedeur is. And so that's why, if you're a Browns fan, man, this is the dream. It's right here in front of you, is that this guy pans out, and then you get more nationally televised games and all those things. At the end of the day, though, it comes down to quarterback execution and winning. And we got a long way to go before we really know what he is, let alone anybody else in that quarterback room outside of Flacco.
I think the one thing I would say now definitively, just in my humble estimation, is that I'm not worried that he can handle it. And I think that's maybe the best thing I can say, in combination with that he's certainly talented. I can't tell you, and you can't, nobody can, did they find their franchise quarterback in a quarter and a half of preseason or whatever it is. But it feels different. It feels like he's going to be able to handle it. Now, he hasn't faced any adversity yet. The only adversity he's faced is being doubted. He excels at being doubted. He does. And he's got a lot of ammunition that he can use, and motivation. Drafted low. Started at the bottom of the rung on his own quarterback depth chart.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Took a few tweaked hamstrings to get an opportunity.
Hey, that's real.
And all of a sudden, here you are. That's why we talked about on Friday is embrace it. It's a great opportunity. In fact, you almost don't want the starters. Like, work with the guys you've been working with. Those are the guys you have a little. I'm not saying you don't want them. I'm just saying that
I know what you're trying to say.
You look even better.
Chemistry is there. Yeah.
They can't just say, well, he had all the starters. Well, of course, that would be good. But this almost makes it look better that if he can do it with these guys, you're like, what's he going to look like with the starters?
No, I completely agree with you, AR. When you're throwing to the likes of a guy like Luke Floria, Kent State alum, who made an amazing one-handed grab and then went on to tweak his hamstring, and you found out the unfortunate news today that he's been let go, and maybe he can come back and find his way on the practice squad. But I hear what you're saying. I do, because the guys that you were getting reps with, like, let me go out there with those guys on the field and rock out, because there may be some chemistry there. I also thought you brought up a good point, AR, when you talked about how he's wired. And when you come from an attention-based family, and that's all you've seen your entire life, and then that transfers over to your career.
You know who my dad is?
You know who my dad is? I think it matters. I think I'm 100% with you that a guy like Shedeur Sanders or a guy like Arch Manning at the college level can handle the social media stuff, all the TV stuff, all just the media stuff that you have to go through, because, hey, I saw my uncles do it. Like, I saw Eli and Peyton do it in a similar way, to where I think, like, Bronny James has a chance to handle the media scrutiny because he saw how his dad went through it and approached it as well. So I do think for Shedeur, all the talk that's out there, that's not going to sway him either way. because you hear the dude talk and you hear him speak to the media about the football side of things. And a lot of what he says are a lot of things that I think you want to hear a quarterback say. And so, yeah, that type of stuff you can't teach, you can't learn it unless you've seen it and gone through it. And he's had to do that the last few years. And he's had to do that the majority of his life because, like you said, you know who my dad is, and it's Deion Primetime Sanders.
You know who my dad is?
Exactly. We know.
All right. So
get your wrist up over there.
Do you have the soundbite from the podium postgame?
I'm still looking into it right now.
I thought you said you had it.
I thought you were talking about the one with Tony.
Yeah, I want to play that one too. Let's hear that one.
Okay, hang on. Fantastic radio here.
Hang on.
So you're looking for
I want the one from the podium where he said what he said about Grossi.
I'm still looking for that one.
Which one then do you have?
The one that
How many girls can we have, Mr. Porky?
The interaction in the hallway.
Oh no, we got that one. You played that one. It's hard to hear. That one's tough.
Yeah.
You can hear at the end saying him kind of joking around with him. No, I thought I wanted to try to find the one at the podium where he called him out in the press conference. That other one was when Tony kind of seeked him out in the stadium and they had a little moment.
What, spicy enough for you?
No, you just couldn't hear it. Neither of them were like wearing a mic. I thought you meant that there was one in the system already that was that one. Either way. All right. You have Stefanski, right?
Yes, there is some Stefanski.
Let's hear from Stefanski on whether this changes anything.
The situations were invaluable for Shedeur, for all of our offense. We got a 3rd and 1 where he had a quarterback sneak. I mean, there's just a lot of football, and that's by design with him getting a ton of reps in this game, and he'll get a ton of reps next week as well. That's all part of our development of our young players.
Mm-hmm. All right. Probably a smart answer. You don't need to say that one preseason game changed my entire pecking order and that they'll all continue to get chances to impress. And here they are. He was never going to be cut. I think he was on, Maddie, in fantasy, you got a no-cut list in your league.
Mm-hmm. Can't drop him.
I'm pretty sure he was on a can't-drop list.
How could you if you were the Browns? I completely agree.
No, even if you threw him in there, he didn't play very well. No. I just think there's just too much there to try to tap into, and this should light a fire under the other guys. It probably already did when Dylan Gabriel was drafted, and then 50 picks later, somebody said to him in his party, "Hey, by the way, did you see what the Browns just did?" "No, I've been having a great time."
Who'd they take?
They took Shedeur.
Huh?
I guarantee it wasn't a gut punch. But it was something odd, I'm sure.
Had to be.
Because when you go 50 picks ahead of that dude, then you're thinking, well, it's done. I'm safe.
Yeah.
They could have taken him if they wanted him. They took me instead.
Yeah. And it's rare that teams double down on any position in the same draft, let alone quarterback. So for Dylan Gabriel, you have to be uncomfortable then and now. Because regardless of whether, he got drafted in the 3rd round. He's a smallish quarterback, doesn't have a big-time arm. That doesn't mean he can't be successful. Mm-hmm. But now there's always a saying, you don't want as an athlete the guy that fills into you to have success. You want the team to succeed, but you don't want that guy that's filling in for you to have success because you could lose your job. Dylan, Shedeur, those guys aren't going to start week 1. For me, their competition between the two of them should be rooted in when Kevin Stefanski wants to go elsewhere from Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco, I'm the first name that he calls. And Shedeur did a good job of getting out in front, for me, just a little bit of Dylan, just based off of what we saw in game action. And Dylan now has a chance to respond in their next preseason game and all the practices leading to the next preseason game.
I'll do my best, Coach Bud Kilmer. You going to listen to that from a gimp who's praying that we lose so he can be the missing link? Movie?
Waterboy.
No. I gave you the character's name. It was a
football movie?
Absolutely 100%. You gonna listen to that from a gimp who's praying that we lose so he can be the missing link?
Friday Night Lights.
No.
Maddie, I'm no help. I'm sorry.
I'm always horrible at this too. Last guess, no Friday Night Lights, not Remember the Titans.
You're probably in more of the right category with Friday Night Lights. High school.
High school football. What is it?
Varsity Blues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it.
That's exactly what you're exactly saying. The guy rooting against the guy so he can be the missing link.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, we're going to come back. There is a Browns quarterback in the tier list. Where did he land? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Common Man here. Our friends at Care Heating and Cooling in Lenox are feeling the love. They're doing something extraordinary for Central Ohio families. The Lenox Feel the Love program provides deserving families and individuals with indoor heating and cooling equipment as well as installation at no cost. You can nominate someone who you think is deserving at feelthelove.com. Nominations will be accepted through August 31st. Let's give back to our hometown heroes. Selfless neighbor, maybe who always puts everybody first. Community leaders like teachers, firefighters, and volunteers, or just families facing hard times. Whoever you think is worthy, send a nomination. As of 2024, the Feel the Love program has completed more than 350 installations with help of dealers like Care Heating and Cooling. Our friends at Lenox donate all the equipment, and Care donates the labor and materials, and the installs are done at no cost. Remember, the deadline is August 31st. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Win big at El Dorado Scioto Downs, your Caesars Rewards hotspot. Play over 1,700 hot games. Sip craft brews at Brew Brothers. And dine at Guy Fieri's Trattoria with its famous 68-layer lasagna. Enjoy live music at Vail Bar and harness racing now through September. Experience nonstop thrills where rewards never stop. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward, and I'm coming up on 2 full years since starting Awaken 180. Dropped 50 pounds, and I still check the scale like it owes me money. Guess what? Hasn't budged. Still under 200 pounds, still feeling great. Keeping weight off this long isn't luck or magic, it's just having the right playbook. Awaken 180 taught me exactly what works, what doesn't, and how to stay lean without the struggle. Want real, lasting results? Don't just drop the weight, retire it for good. Trust me, Awaken 180 is your winning game plan. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Keep your summer fun going at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now through September 2nd, get 1.99 APR financing on a powerful new 25 Tundra or $3,000 customer cash. Excludes TRD Pro. Or you can lease a new well-equipped 25 Tundra SR Crew Max for just $419 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
The Buckeyes are national champions. And you listen to it all right here on The Fan. And next year when they do it again, it'll be here on The Fan. And the year after that, well, you know the drill. Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Fan 1, weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hot and humid for us again today. We will see a few stray showers and storms out there, although most of central Ohio will remain dry with our afternoon highs getting into the low 90s. For tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the 70s, and then for Tuesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine with, again, some isolated showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, and our highs remain in the low 90s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, back at it. This was very funny. So the Athletic did a 2025 quarterback tiers, like the whole board. Starting quarterbacks ranked by average tier rating, and they kind of color-coded it to Maddie's DEF CON. 5 being actually the worst in this case, whereas I think in DEF CON 5 is good.
Yeah,
You're kind of at a...
My brain can never handle that. Never handle that.
So they tiered them 1 through 5. And I'm looking at these colors, and one is like a shade of like forest green, then there's a teal, then there's a yellow, then an orange, and then like a reddish orange.
Before you start getting into the names, AR, let me just lay out kind of the criteria, if you will.
Yeah.
So
50 people.
50 voters in this thing.
50.
AR, you got 6 general managers, 6 assistant GMs, 6 former GMs, 5 other executives, 8 head coaches, and 19 other coaches, including 15 coordinators. So that's the field of people in the league that made up the 50 voters that tiered all of the quarterbacks going into, or the starting quarterbacks, I guess, going into the 25 season.
That's a lot. Listen, Maddie, look at you. You remember the honor roll. You're an assistant to the assistant of the movie theater. Assistant manager. An assistant to the assistant manager. I mean, if that girl can't smell your qualifications, who needs her? All right. Now, so you had 50 people.
Yep.
And they tiered them. Why? So there's like 5 in the first tier, another like 8 or 9 in the second tier. Then there's another 10 in the third, and then another, 8 in the fourth. Am I seeing this correctly? It feels like Kenny Pickett is in a tier all by himself.
He's by himself. Kenny Pickett is in
the last.
He's in tier 5, and it says a tier 5 quarterback is best suited as a backup.
I just don't know why he'd be in a tier all by himself. Why wouldn't he be in the 4th tier?
They have in that 4th tier that you're talking about, Joe Flacco coming in at 31. Okay. The tier 4 description says a tier 4 quarterback could be an unproven player.
Okay.
Quote, not enough information for voters to classify, or a veteran who ideally would not start all 17 games.
They put Russ in that tier,
which I think he definitely qualifies as the vet you probably don't want to see for all 17 games, because if you're a Giants fan, let's see what Jackson Dart has eventually. And the other veterans in that group would be Daniel Jones and Joe Flacco. All the other guys in tier 4 are youngish guys, which would lean in towards the unproven part of the description, that being Justin Fields, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, and Spencer Rattler.
What jumps out to you in this?
What jumps out to me is that in tier 1, which says a tier 1 quarterback can carry his team each week, the team wins because of him, and he handles pure passing situations. He has no real holes in his game. What jumps out to me is that tied for first as the best quarterback in the league is Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. I didn't know if the voters would have anyone tied with Pat Mahomes in this, because it doesn't seem like any exercise that we've talked about this all season when it comes to quarterback rankings has anybody but Mahomes as the guy. So that is a little surprising to me.
The numbers that Joe Burrow put up last year, and I know, listen, these guys all make mistakes. Mahomes looked awful in the Super Bowl under pressure. But they're talking about Joe Burrow the same way they talked about him early on in his career, that he's Tom Brady-esque. He has that kind of command of the football. And while Mahomes is the off-script guy that can do anything, that Burrow is just the prototypical quarterback and how he throws the football. And I have the weird part for me is that Josh Allen is below him, and Josh Allen now has an MVP under his belt.
It's weird for me that both Josh and Lamar are below Joey B. We're in the neck of the woods here with these quarterbacks that you're splitting hairs. But that is a bit surprising to me.
Yeah, you'd probably rank the MVP guys above him. Put Burrow at 4.
Yeah.
I mean, Stafford has a Super Bowl. He outdueled Burrow. He's below him. Now, this is more of a current thing.
Right.
You and I wouldn't argue. None of us would argue on whether you would take Stafford or Burrow in
long term.
Yeah. And I will say that maybe the tiebreaker for me is it's not that off, because you know what I like to do? I like to say, I got one game. I'm playing today. Who do I want?
If we take Mahomes off the board.
I'm drafting today.
Yeah.
I got one game to win. Who do I want? I'm probably taking Josh Allen now.
You know, it's interesting.
With his dual threat ability. Lamar, too. I'd rather have that. But I could be off on this in that Burrow's a great choice. They're all really good choices. But if you had a game, who would you count on the most? That's actually the better question is, who would be better under pressure? I just like having that dual threat. I like having Josh or Lamar to get me out of something. And I aired only with Josh. Not like he's done everything right. I mean, your guy's amazing, but under pressure, in the playoffs, he hasn't come through as much as I've wanted him to. For you.
Joe did have that 50-some yard run against the Giants.
He did get loose on him, and he didn't fall down like Daniel Jones did.
It's just hard if you had a game to win today. It's hard to go away from. This is Lamar. This would be Lamar's argument. Would be the best rushing quarterback in the history of the game. Like that to me would be difficult.
And right now, one of the best pure passers in the game too.
It's just he doesn't shine as much as he needs to in the playoffs. It's not all his fault, but he's got to show up big.
And then the Lamar stands would say, well, can Joey B get back to the playoffs? Get back to the playoffs.
He did everything he needed to do last year.
I
you
know,
can't.
But these are the things that have to get brought up. Because, like I've always said, if Lamar and Joey B right now had the exact same resumes that they have, Lamar would never be in front of Joe Burrow in any type of conversation. But Joey B gets that grace because he got to a Super Bowl and is awesome more times than not. That's why I just think it's my mind sometimes doesn't equate to how some of these voters get to where they get to when they knock one guy for one thing, but don't bring that up when it comes to another guy. That's all. But if you're telling me that I get Mahomes, Joey B, Lamar, or Josh Allen for any game on any given week, I'm good.
Here's the other one that jumps out to me, is that Jalen Hurts is tied for 9th. They don't think he's... What's the tier 2
So he's
definition?
in tier 2. A tier 2 quarterback can carry his team sometimes, but not as consistently. He can handle pure passing situations in doses and or possesses other dimensions that are special enough to elevate him above tier 3. He has a hole or two in his game.
Okay. I'm fine with him being tier 2. I don't have any problem with that. He should not be below Jaden Daniels. He should
CJ Stroud
or Justin Herbert.
Yeah, none of those
Or
guys.
Jared Goff. He shouldn't be. I know he's got a hell of a team around him, but he does a lot too. I know he's not asked to throw it 50 times, but
you know who's had hell of a teams
put him
too?
below those guys.
You know who's had hell of a teams winning Super Bowls? Pat Mahomes. He has. You got to have good talent. I completely agree with you on this, AR, because, well, yes, you can look at where the Eagles were last year in some of the passing categories. It wasn't sexy, but what I invest in is his body of work and, more importantly, what the dude has done in 2 Super Bowls. He has balled in the biggest games. And so if this is a skill set thing, then I kind of understand, like, if just pure throwing of the ball and those things, then I'm like, okay. But if this is everything put into one pot with skill set and winning, Jalen Hurts has done it all.
Yeah. All right, those are your pre-snap reads for today. All right, we're going to come back in 2 minutes with our friend Jeff Lloyd, who is the host of Browns 3D. He does the Orange and Brown Report, and we'll ask him what needs to change now after the first preseason game. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day. The kitchen drain has had enough. The toilet's called it quits. Drains are clogged throughout the house. I'm gonna throw a fit.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Now you can watch Rothman and Ice.
Go to YouTube and search 97.1 The Fan.
Rothman is wearing the pancake makeup, so you might as well watch. Back to Rothman and Ice.
All right, they're the talk of the nation today. Brownies, Shedeur, wrist up, Nike ads, the whole thing. He wouldn't mind going from Cleveland to Canton. Our guy Jeff Lloyd will weigh in on that. All right, my man. Pecking orders changing, more reps. Are we going off one preseason game? Did things get turned on its head this weekend in Cleveland?
Well, I think with the way the situation's going, and I think everybody probably agrees right now, Joe's going to be the starter, which kind of shakes everything up. And look, unfortunate for Gabriel, unfortunate for Pickett, hamstring injuries, you miss time. Obviously, there was the race between the two veterans to get the starting job, the race between the two rookies, so who kind of had the upper hand. But, you ride the hot hand. And, unfortunately for Gabriel, Shedeur got his opportunity while he couldn't play. Shedeur obviously looked the part. I don't think that really should have surprised anybody, to be fair. I mean, Shedeur was a very established college quarterback. So to go out there and play well, for him was the proving point. And the proving point is what's it going to look like now when I'm starting to play with maybe the guys who are the primary players. He was out there with three, undrafted free agents, primarily at the wide receiver position, showed well, played well. Now it's, like it is with, any kid, you eat what's on your plate. All of a sudden we're going to put more on your plate. And I think that opportunity is here for Shedeur.
So AR and I have been talking a lot about, Shedeur and what we saw. And we've been trying to stay down the middle of the fairway with this stuff. And, I brought up earlier, Jeff, that, I like some of the things I saw as far as the execution, right? And like getting under center and play action and, being in shotgun and just different looks that he could throw at a defense early on in the process. Talk about that part in the offense that you saw him running and how he was able to lead, a couple touchdown drives there.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that really stood out, it was early. I want to say it was probably the first quarter. Caden Davis came right to him right out of the huddle. So obviously Caden Davis was not 100% sure either A, what his role was or, where his route in the combo was. Got right into Shedeur's ear. Shedeur with a couple of hand gestures. All of a sudden, Caden Davis lined up where he's supposed to be. The play went off without a hitch. You're supposed to see that. You're the quarterback. That's what you're supposed to do. But, not all of these young quarterbacks are, that into it. You saw the ball placement, obviously, the first touchdown to Caden Davis. The second touchdown, really impressive where he manipulated, his blocker into the would-be blitzer, found the lane, hit Davis again for a touchdown. The touch pass to Floria, which obviously got everybody really, really jazzed up. You just see there was a real comfort level. You saw some things that basically were the concern coming out of Colorado. In the earliest drive, it was 4th and 1. I didn't like the call going from the gun. Shedeur tried to do, I think Shedeur has this thing where maybe he thinks he's a little bit more athletic than he is. You just really got to understand, maybe I'm just not that guy and, just worry about, getting the ball and getting out of your hands as quick as possible. But you're not going to learn that until you see it and you have to deal with it. And, there's going to be certainly growth from one preseason to the game to the next. But, for Shedeur, I think you need to start seeing, can he play with the tempo that the starters play with? And that's what's going to hopefully have to come here from the next 2 weeks, because I think with all this talk and the way it went down, Shedeur was kind of slowly backing into being the number 2 quarterback anyway. I think after his performance Friday night and basically just the standing of the room now, I think it's probably I'm more firm in my belief that that's the way it's going to shake out for him. He's just got to continue to stick to it, understand that, whatever Friday night was, it was a first, it was a moral victory, but, you just got to keep stacking and, days upon days, weeks upon weeks. And it's certainly believable that, to get a good moment, a feel-good moment, hopefully Shedeur is just going to continue to ascend.
Jeff Lloyd with us, host of Browns Everything on the Orange and Brown Report. He's with us now. What did that do to practice today? How'd they look? Kenny Pickett, I mentioned earlier, is kind of like a preseason All-Pro. He was with the Steelers. How did he look today, and did it light a fire under him?
I think all the quarterbacks actually looked pretty good today. I think one of the things you're going to take away from that is, nobody really picked up a ball since Friday night. So, when you're talking 48 hours plus a rest, it probably should look good. Pickett, it was weird because everybody kind of thought he was just going to go back to full duty today. Joe Thomas was the one that kind of leaked it during the broadcast Friday night that it could still be a little bit longer. So he only did 7-on-7s today. And as far as where there had been a pecking order previously where it was Joe, then Kenny when he was there, or Dylan. But today it was Joe with the ones and only the ones, and nobody else got the run with the ones. But it was Dylan and Shedeur basically splitting the rest of the work between 2s and 3s. Dylan's in catch-up mode now. I think the Browns are going to give him a chance, obviously. But, Shedeur's got the confidence going for him. And Dylan, it's going to be the Eagles this week, which is going to be, no small task. So it could be difficult for either rookie quarterback to maybe find some success, come Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia. But it's kind of trending the way we thought. It was going to be one veteran took it over, and it looks like it is with Joe. And you can't really release either rookie and hope to get him back to the practice squad because, with the sparsity of quarterbacks in the league, if either one of them are exposed to waivers, there's a good chance that they're going to get scooped up pretty quickly.
Outside of Shedeur's performance, which was pretty darn good for, a fifth-round pick right out of the gate, was there another rookie or another guy out there on the field against Carolina where you watched the game and maybe looked back at some stuff and you thought had a good performance that he can build off of?
I would go to probably, we'll go with 2 rookies, obviously one drafted, Carson Schlesinger. Look, there was everything you saw leading up to that game, anytime, there was some sort of tackle, because we're not really dragging people to the ground, you saw 49. Carson Schlesinger is an extremely, extremely intelligent guy. You can see he's watching the film. He knows what's going on. You combine that with all the athleticism. I think it was, he was in on 6 tackles. I think it like 13 snaps. I mean, you just do the math on that. You're talking about a guy who would be, easily double-digit tackles per game. The UDFA wide receivers, and it was, Floria, and unfortunately for Floria, with the hamstring injury, it may bode well for the Browns because if Floria had continued and the Browns couldn't find a way to keep him on the 53, maybe they would have lost him. The guy that I've kind of liked and has really kind of grown on me as far as the UDFA wide receivers is Gage Lavardane. You had the 30-yard punt return. You had the jet sweep, caught a couple of passes. He was a guy with a 39-inch vertical coming out of South Carolina's final year. He traveled well, 3 different colleges during his time. For me, I think he's the one that kind of stands out for me as far as the undrafted free agents. You can't keep them all, obviously. I do think the Browns are going to bring in a veteran receiver somewhere soon between now and obviously getting ready for week 1. But I really think Gage Lavardane's kind of bringing something, a little bit of juice to a wide receiver room that absolutely needs it.
Well done, my man. Can't wait for the next showing. We will be ringing you back. So thanks for the time.
Anytime, fellas. We'll talk soon.
Yep, that's our friend Jeff Lloyd, Orange and Brown Report, here on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. Sounds like Kenny looked good in practice today.
I don't know if he's doing full 11 on 11s yet, so they're probably still easing him back in just a little bit. But, yeah, I've seen a couple highlights out there, and he's spinning it and looking pretty darn good. But, yeah, you want to see all these guys out there in real game action as close as you can get to that. And so hopefully, whether it's Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, or Shedeur, like we get to see them go up against some of the ones from Philly's side because that'll be a test for that offensive line, especially for DeJuan Jones if he's out there, but also just to see how the quarterbacks handle pressure because we know Philly's a dominant unit on defense.
It's good just to be seen stuff that we can talk about.
Yeah.
And not just all the hypotheticals.
Right.
Like honestly, it felt like today we were almost doing post-game on a game.
Yeah.
It had that feeling to it. And if Kenny's going to get traded, if he looks good enough, like you want Kenny to look as good as possible. Regardless, because if you keep him, that's great.
Yeah.
And if not, somebody needs him, or however you want to look at it.
You got some bait you can dangle out there.
And that's why they may. He said they're not going to keep them all, but.
We talked to Shefty last week. He said that he thinks that they're going to keep 4. I saw a report from Cleveland.com, too, that they but may end up keeping 4.
5 if you include Deshaun.
Right, which is a head scratcher for me to keep 4.
Oh,
but
and then Huntley, yeah.
With so much much uncertainty, it kind of is what it is.
All right, we'll come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Stay hydrated. It's hot out there. So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Get too hot?
Hey, my phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
At United Dairy Farmers, Peach is our most popular ice cream. Although it's only here for a short time, we sell more of it than any other flavor. And once you taste it, you'll know why it wins the popularity contest. We make it from scratch by mixing in the juice from our hand-selected peaches and big chunks of fruit. That's what gives it that unique peachier flavor. And that might also explain why peach season at UDF doesn't last long. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties are $5.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We've all got it, you know, that one crazy thing you've always wanted to do, that bucket list goal. Then a cancer diagnosis, and that one thing still goes according to plan. I would know I'm getting my first tattoo right now, while my 3 beautiful daughters laugh hysterically at me. 58 years old, 4 years of cancer-free checkups at Ohio Health. Go ahead and get a picture, girls. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I've got a public service announcement for your taste buds. The legendary Sanders Bumpy Cake is finally here in Ohio. Yes, that Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. Rich devil's food cake topped with smooth buttercream bumps and smothered in thick chocolatey fudge. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed until now. Perfect for your next barbecue, tailgate, or a family function. And if you've never had one of these, well, trust me, once you try it, you're going to be hooked. Grab your Sanders Bumpy Cake today at Kroger or Meijer and taste what the hype's all about.
We're rebranding our AM station, ESPN Columbus, partly because we're bored, mostly because it's crap. We have a new lineup picked out and everything, but angry lawyer person said I can't say it yet. It all starts Tuesday, September 2nd.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Get 50% off all window styles, plus no interest until 2030. Visit windownation.com now.
All right, Rhymes, take us home.
Are you guys higher on the LA Rams or the Detroit Lions coming into this season?
Wow. Detroit Lions or LA Rams?
So on one side, AR, you've got a franchise starting quarterback that's 36-37 that's dealing with a bad back. On the other side of this,
I was feeling better.
On the other side of this, you have a franchise that lost 2 coordinators, lost their starting center this offseason, and Frank Ragnow, who was a Pro Bowl player. So that's kind of the offseason vibe check right now.
Listen, it's good that you headlined it that way. I'm going to go that I'm more confident with the Lions. I've kind of, yes, they laid an egg in the playoffs, but it was against a Washington team that was coming. I am not, as much as I like Stafford, I agree. 37-year-old quarterback. I'm not going to put my eggs in that basket. I love Puka, as you know, but there's concern. They've got a young defense, and I feel like as much as I think that they are nobody to overlook, the Rams can surprise anybody at any moment. But I'm going to ride with the Lions right now, even with their question marks at coordinator. The head coach is still there, and Aiden Hutchinson coming back. I just feel like I'm going to err on the side of the talent that I know that I've seen rather than the coordinator change.
You know who my dad is?
So for me, Rhyme Time, I've actually got more confidence in the Rams. And the reason why is because I watched with my own eyes the Eagles take a step back a few years ago when they lost both their coordinators. And to me, that's a big deal. And especially when you bake in, they lost their starting center. It's not sexy to talk about, but it's a huge deal to an offense with how he's got to identify coverages and all that. Talent for talent, they're absolutely loaded. But with the addition of Devontae Adams in L.A., who I think's got some good ball left in him, and that defensive line is for real out there in L.A., I'm going to go with the Super Bowl winning quarterback and the Super Bowl winning head coach. So I'll go with the Rams.
I apologize. I got a little eager there with that Shedeur sound.
It's Shedeur Day. Play it again. Play it again if you want. Play it again.
You know who my dad is?
We do.
So are you guys big UFC guys?
No, I am not.
So Dana White announced that there's a new home for UFC in 2026, signing a $7.7 billion deal with Paramount for 7 years. No more pay-per-view. Will you guys now be more inclined to tune in? You don't really have to pay for it.
I won't, but I will say this. On the wrestling side of things, for a while until the change just happened with ESPN, all of their pay-per-views were available on Peacock. And it was great. Because usually, back in the day, you pay $30, $50 for a pay-per-view. Like, that was gone. It was baked into your Peacock subscription, whatever that was, month in and month out. But no, I'm not a big UFC guy. But the format of what they're doing, if I were a UFC fan, I would enjoy, because I really enjoyed it with WWE.
Yeah, it's as Austin Powers once said, it's not my bag, baby. It just isn't. Watching guys get beat to a pulp like that. I mean, I used to like boxing, but the old ground and pound kind of deal is just not my thing. But I realize it's very popular. That's a lot of billions that you just threw out there. So I don't know what it would take to get me to watch.
You betting on it?
You can bet on it. If you told me, I'll tell you what. Yes, here's what you could say. What if I told you that the odds of making money betting on this was a lot better than NFL football? Then I could. Is that true?
Or
are there a lot of upsets in UFC?
I really don't know, AR. Do you know, Runtime?
I don't know for sure either. I know I've bet on it a couple times, haven't been all that successful, but I mean, like, the odds, they're still like right around like they're all like kind of even.
So
slight favorites sometimes.
I had heard a week ago, maybe it was a hair longer, that if you bet the entire card of UFC, I heard, like, if you took, I don't know if it was a lot of upsets, that you would retire right now. Like, it was the most absurd deal ever if you were able to parlay everything on the underdogs. But that's right. That's what would get me to do it.
Winner, chicken dinner.
So the White Sox, they came out with a 50-foot-long hot dog over the weekend. They were walking it down like the third base line and everything.
Is that the foot long? And then some.
So what, to the point of a length of a hot dog, would it be for you guys to not eat it? Are you interested in this 50-foot long hot dog?
No, it's too much glizzy for me.
What do you mean interested? Meaning in eating the whole thing?
Way.
What are you talking about?
And just the visual he laid out for us.
That?
With how many people had to hold that thing, there's no way. I don't even feel comfortable with foot-long hot dogs. Like, that for me is a little too much for your boy over there. I love a good hot dog, though. But, yeah, anything past a normal size hot dog, whatever that is, like, I can't handle it. I'm good.
Just something at the turn, Rothman?
Put us in the normal category. Oh, man. Put us in the average category. Maybe slightly above average category.
Does this look like a circus to you, man?
So, will Tommy Fleetwood ever get a win?
Maddie, how many times have I put Tommy Fleetwood in pressure?
I feel like it's been
talked about him at Memorial. He's got 1 million top fives, 1 million top tens.
Yeah.
He's been in position. And this weekend he was in position again.
What happened?
Now, Justin Rose came out of nowhere. I think Justin Rose birdied, I don't know, was it 6 of his last 8 holes or something like that?
Yeah, something crazy.
So he kind of stole it from him. I don't know. The theory of you've knocked on the door that much, why wouldn't you win? He's just got to win a PGA Tour event. We're not talking about a major.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say he's got the game. Well, we know he has the game to do it. Boy, if he hasn't done it by now, will he do it?
How old is he?
Tommy Fleetwood's got to be in his high 30s, mid-30s, somewhere like.
Let me check this out. Let me check it out.
Big dog guy. Like him a lot.
Seems like a cool dude, man.
Yeah.
He really does. He's 34.
Yeah, he's still got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he does it. I'm going to say I mean, they say that, you go through these and you learn. But I don't know. For him, it may be just a curse to have a chance because he may be one of those guys that just has to steal it on the last hole rather than trying to protect a lead. I just don't think he's good being in position to win. He can't close. But I think if he's chasing and some guy fails ahead of him, he could just step through. That's what it's going to take.
I think he's going to get him one. He doesn't have one yet, and I just looked this up, Rhyme Time, and he still made $32.5 million on tour.
Yep, and I was getting ready to say that. In 162 starts, he's got 6 second-place finishes. It's tough.
It's good living. It's good living right there. Hey, if you guys missed anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Coming up on Common Man and Timmy. Timmy is back in the building with his Washington Commanders polo on, and Jason Stark will join the fellas at 5:30.
All right, fellas, we will reconvene tomorrow, the three of us, and we'll do it again at high noon. Thanks for listening. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
The trash talk, the bad trade requests, the horrible reaches on draft picks. It's fantasy football time, and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is giving you a chance to hold your fantasy draft in a fantasy location. On August 24th, host your fantasy draft party at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which will include a $100 dining credit, draft board, and swag. Visit 971thefan.com and sign up for your fantasy draft party package. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for help.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and Columbus football is back. And what better way to kick off the season than driving home in a tough, reliable 2024 Toyota Tacoma from Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, get 0% APR for up to 72 months with 20% down, or lease it for $239 a month for 36 months for 10,000 miles per year with $29.99 due at signing. Head to Germain Toyota of Columbus today on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Your home for great deals all season long.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
It's like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding, and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the lunch and learn. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Wilson from That Other Window Place, and this is the Secrets of Pella podcast.
Secrets of Pella.
where we try to expose Pella Windows secrets. Okay, Leslie from Pella, these magical disappearing screens you speak of, what exactly is Pella hiding?
Well, hiding the screens is the whole point.
All right, cut. The screen just disappears? There's no magic involved? Okay.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep Better